Are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets. There's a whole lot happening on the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Elon Musk. I'm going to talk about Elon Musk. Yes, I am. I was trying to hold it, but now we got a New York Post article where she didn't talk to the press, talking about he was in my DMs. Oh boy, we're going to talk about it today. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will in a minute. We'll get to that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we have zero masculine Democrats in power. There's nobody that can really take the reins in a Democratic Party that has an ounce of masculinity outside of Big Mike. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Jay-Z, the lawsuit against Tim and Puff, alleging that he assaulted a 13-year-old girl back in the year 2000, has been dropped by the accuser. I knew it was BS from the very beginning, which is why I never reported on it. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Fetterwoman, he has been demoted back to Fetterwoman, talking crazy about Trump and the transgender military ban. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. My. Have you guys been watching what's happening on the interwebs as of late? Have you guys been watching? So Elon Musk has a new baby, number 13? Oh, I'm going to get straight to it, but I ain't going to get straight to it. I'm going to just kind of tease it a little bit. Elon Musk has his 13th baby with Ashley St. Clair. Now, I've seen her before, on the internet, but I've never watched any of her stuff. I recognize the name, but I don't know her. I've never watched any of her stuff. I don't know what she got going on, but apparently a lot of people I know, they know her. They be in the same circles, kind of the conservative influencer sphere. So they know her. Now, when she posts her announcement talking about she had a baby with Elon, everybody's like, oh, congratulations. And I understand, that's your friend. I get it, that's your friend. But you can't on one breath say single parenthood is destroying the nation. It is the scourge. It's the bane of our existence. You can't say that in one breath. Then in the next breath, you congratulate her. I'm not saying you got to attack her. Oh, welcome, baby, heart emoji. Weren't you the one talking about single parents are destroying the nation? Weren't you the one talking about a lack of nuclear family is destroying the nation? Wasn't that you? And now you're giving her heart emojis on the internet? That's your friend and you don't want to attack her. Don't say nothing. Don't be doing all this extra stuff, because you know what? Hey, the next time you want to use that single parent argument, I'll be like, whoa, wait 1 minute. Ain't that you right here? Ain't that you right here that was congratulating your friend when she had her second baby by another man, because she already had a baby before that by somebody else and was never married? Two baby daddies by two baby daddies in 2 years, and you celebrating that, man? Listen, I don't care. People telling me don't say nothing. I don't care. One thing about me, I'm gonna always speak my mind. And you know what? I ain't gonna get too deep into it, because we got an article. She didn't talk to the media. Oh man, listen, she didn't talk to the media and all that. But before we get into it, the reason why I started my channel is because I had something to say that was unpopular. It went against the grain, and everybody said, don't do it. Everybody. Listen, do you know my dad came to my house? Hold on. My dad came to my house trying to have an intervention. Yo, so I'm going to tell a quick story. It might not be a long one, but let me just tell this story about how I got started. Now, this is back, I want to say, way before I started going on YouTube. It might have been 2014, maybe before then. So I'm on Facebook at the time. I'm on Facebook. I have a blog, and I'm just writing about stuff, writing about things that I see, writing about politics, pointing out things that don't make any sense. I'm like, okay, I don't like that this person did this. I don't like that this person did that. I don't like Barack Obama's policies. Everybody was broke. Everybody was going bankrupt. During the Obama administration, the second term, I think 3 of my friends filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I mean, lost their whole shirt, lost their house, lost their business, lost their marriage, lost everything. And I remember one day just sitting around like, it might have been 2011. I'm like, is this the hope and change that I was promised? Is this the good economy, the good country that I was promised? Because it ain't going that well for me right now. And a lot of my friends are in the same boat. And we're not no bums. We're actually out here doing things and being productive. You got guys that got brick and mortar businesses that they didn't have for 20 years, black guys now. And 2011, things start to dwindle. So right around that time, I was like, you know what? Nobody's pointing out the obvious thing here. We made a mistake when it came to Barack Obama. We made a mistake. We should go a different direction. So I was starting to write about that back then. I'm not making no money. I'm just expressing myself. At the same time, I have a BlackBerry with the full keyboard and everything. And I had those kind of phones with the full keyboard up until 2018. I ain't have one of these bad boys up until then. And I didn't get my first iPhone until maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. For real. But anyway, so I was writing and then I was just using my BlackBerry for voice notes. Now, during this time, I'm posting certain things on Facebook. I got my parents calling me. My dad didn't like certain things that I would say. And one day he came to my house drunk, trying to confront me, talking about some, oh, well, I'm watching the news and they said that if you see a change in your child, you got to go check on them. I'm like, if they're going to be a mass shooter or something like that, me at 30 something years old, never been arrested, never had any kind of mental problems, always been the good kid, always looked out for everybody around me. I'll give you the last if I got it. Me? You gonna think we? Now listen, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'3", whatever. My dad was the exact same size as me. If you saw us from behind, you couldn't tell the difference. So me and him, we're like fighting right there in my apartment in Virginia. My neighbors coming out and everything. Okay. You know how many friends I lost? You know how many death threats I done got? You know how many, I got swatted. And what was that? 2019, I got swatted. You know what I had to go through just to be able to express myself on the internet? And people said, don't do it. If you do it, I'm going to kill you. If you do it, I'm going to disown you. If you do it, I don't want to be your friend no more. Only to now have somebody try to say, oh, don't say nothing because nah. We not going to, I ain't start biting my tongue back then for my parents. I'm not doing it for nobody else. This person right here, this whole situation is ridiculous. It's crazy. Listen, I'm not even trying to attack Elon or the young lady or anybody else. My only issue is if a young lady comes out and says, hey, me, Elon had a baby. There's no marriage, no cohabitation, nothing like that. And conservative influencers are saying, congratulations, heart emoji. I don't like that. And then the thing is, if you do that, and if you're the kind of person that is also talking about a lack of nuclear family and the lack of a proper structure in the household as a reason why the nation is in decline, if you say that, you can't say that anymore because you didn't gave your friend all the heart emojis for doing exactly what you're talking about is the wrong thing. And again, she already had one child before and hadn't been married. Recently, like 2 years ago, a baby. Now there's another one, no marriage. Oh, because it's Elon Musk, it's fine. Because she's on the internet as a conservative influencer, it's fine. Nah, but listen. That was on my chest. I had to get it off. And we're going to get to that a little bit later. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to read some of these chats right here. Hold on. Kim says, Jeremy from the Boring, from the Quartering, not Jeremy Boring. Jeremy from the Quartering. I was wondering if ABL was on this list. What list? Maybe I missed something. But yeah, I don't like that, man. And the thing about it is I don't care about no money. I don't care about nothing because, like I said, from the beginning, it was always me just against the world, basically. Being able to express myself in a way that nobody could control and that I knew was right. I know that I'm right. That whole Jay-Z thing, some may not like my stance on the Jay-Z lawsuit because I said it was BS from the beginning. I didn't report on it because I knew it would get dropped. I knew that it would go. I knew that it wouldn't actually go anywhere. And here we are. We got 2 months after the lawsuit came out. Oh, it got dropped by the accuser. I wonder why. A settlement, be for real. Ain't no settlement. It was dropped because it was phony and they couldn't prove anything. And here's my thing about that before we go any further. Is it okay to just say, hey, you know what? I think you did something. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say you did it in a civil case and not bring any criminal allegations forward. Well, if you think I did something, why not charge me criminally? If two adult males assaulted a 13-year-old girl, you got to bring criminal charges. You got to go to the police. You got to go to the federales. You got to go to somebody. You can't just say, oh, let's get some money. Nah, that is a criminal penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. If you are able to find evidence that somebody assaulted a child, they need to get the rope. Listen, if it's me, can I be a little bit real? A little teeny bit real. A little bit real. Hey, if there's evidence that someone assaulted a child, especially in a, violating the child, rope immediately. If somebody's caught red-handed doing that, or there's physical, actual evidence of that happening, you're able to prove it, take them out back. Don't send them to the penitentiary. Big rocks, little rocks. Nah, ain't gonna be no work release. We're gonna just go ahead and do you right there and have it be done. If I was the king and I could just rule, I would do that. But we got to be diplomatic to a certain. If we got laws and we got human rights and all that kind of good stuff, okay, see you in the prison. But if it's me, hey, take them on our back. Old Yeller. Like, shout out Kristi Noem. The funny thing that, you know what, Kristi Noem, I want to talk about her right quick, just for a minute. And I know I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but Kristi Noem, the outrage behind what Kristi Noem did was hilarious. And if you guys don't know, there was a book or something that came out a long time ago where a story was in there about Kristi Noem having to put her dog down. And she took a dog to a gravel pit or something like this and shot it. And people were upset. What was that? Varney on Fox? How about the dog? Did you kill the dog? It's like, it's a dog. Sometimes you got to put the dog down. It's unfortunate. Sometimes you got to put the dog down. People don't want to actually do what needs to be done all the time. They don't want to come out and say the wrong thing and take the punishment, take the arrows, take the abuse. They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to do something that seems to be heartless, like putting a dog down. But guess what? If your dog is sick or your dog is a menace, biting people, attacking people, you don't want to do it. You try to send it to get rehomed. Guess what? Kristi Noem was the rehome because the dog had problems before. So you're kicking the can down the road, kicking the can down the rehome and trainers, and nothing works. You give up, you abandon the dog or send it to the pound. All they're going to do is put it down. So rather than going through all that rigmarole, Kristi Noem says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it because somebody got to do it. I'll do it. Rather than kicking the can down the road to somebody else, I'll take responsibility. I'll take accountability. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I implore everybody to do. But hey, shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I spoke about this win. I spoke about what are you talking about? So far, I've covered Elon and Kristi Noem. What have I repeated from another day? You let me know, J.O. So, yeah, you got to make sure I'm good. Or maybe talking about the list. Maybe I missed it. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, Varney, how about the dog and the dog and the dog? I like, bro, it's a dog. I mean, good grief. It's okay, man. It happens. It happens, man. It's sad, I suppose, but that's life. You could have spider one time. Hey, man, R.I.P. to little Trancula. R.I.P. little widow. R.I.P. widow. But yeah, thank you, Luis. I appreciate you, man. I really, really do. But people have to be able to do things for themselves. They got to do the things that others don't want to do. This is how civilization is maintained. You can't just say, oh, let somebody else fix the infrastructure. Let somebody else fix the actual issues with people socially. Somebody got to step up and do it themselves. It can't always be let somebody else do it. You got to do something for your country and do something for yourself. That's how I feel. But yeah, we got a whole lot happening today. If you like what you're hearing, you know what to do. Shout out to the sponsors. We got a lot of videos too. We got some really, really good videos, some really interesting stuff. And I think I'm going to start, once we start, I'm going to start with that Elon. Yeah, I'm going to start with the Elon story because the girl did an interview on New York Post. I'm like, what are you doing? Man, that NDA must not have actually hit yet. The NDA did not hit yet at all. Front page New York Post. ABL, mind your business. I read newspapers. I'm old. You understand what I'm saying? I'm young, but I'm old. I'm like, really in my mind, I'm like 100 years old. So I'm still reading papers, but I don't have the physical paper anymore. I'm just reading it online. Right here. As soon as I go to NewYorkPost.com, right in front of my face. That's the new baby mama, and there go Elon right there with the MAGA hat on. How am I going to ignore it? How am I going to ignore the story? We'll get to that in a minute. But first things first, shout out to the sponsors, of course. You guys for watching. Shout out to y'all. You guys are always the best. But also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Also, go directly to their website through the browser, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website and you'll find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from Republican, Democrat, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it as long as it's legal. It'll be right there on the front page of the website. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact us. There you'll be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media profiles, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you're conversing with me on the interwebs or not, you're probably not. It'll probably be a little bit more obvious. My email is real easy, contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. Again, contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. If you can't remember, go to the website. It's always on the contact page. It ain't never going to change. But that's my email address. If someone is in the comments talking about their ABL, they may have my name. They may have my picture. It's not me. Don't get scammed. You already know who that is and where they're from. It's going to be a dude with 15 consonants in his name, either from Eastern Europe or right there, West Africa, probably in Nigeria. Lagos, Nigeria, Yahoo boys. Y'all know how it is. And shout out to my Nigerians in the chat. You know your cousins and them over in that part of the particular place. Do that, okay? You already know how it is, okay? Like, I don't commit crime, but I got some of my friends back in Virginia that will commit crime. But I don't commit crime. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm not involved in any of that. But anyway, if you're wondering if that's me, it's not. It's a guy that talking like this on their phone. He's talking like this on their phone to their cousins and said, we got that fresh one here. We got that fresh one on the ABL channel. You're going to give us all their money. You're going to give us all their money. Don't be that person that gives up all your money to some dude with 15 consonants in his name, living in Abuja, Lagos, or somewhere like that, or whereas Kiev, Ukraine, Transnistria. Don't know about. Look, don't get scammed by some dude wearing a Siberian Husky hat and 0-degree temperature in the summertime. Okay, we don't have time for that. But anyway, shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate you. We have a lot to get into. Oh, we have a lot to get into. Yes, we do. I'm gonna start with Elon straight away, just to get it out the way, because I know some of y'all may not like it. Oh, it's conservative gossip, whatever. I'm gonna just get straight to it, and then we shall continue. So now let's go straight to it. Now, first, do y'all know Ashley St. Clair? Do y'all know her? Do y'all watch her stuff? Y'all let me know. Oh, is that Jamaican? Shout out to my Jamaican accent coming out. And I got all the black sense. I do a black scent better than Iggy Azalea. Shout out to her. But anyway, do you guys know who Ashley St. Clair is? She's a influencer, I suppose. I don't know if she is popular beyond Twitter. I don't really know. Okay, now we're going to get into it. We shall get into it. You saw her on Timcast, Minding the Drift. Shout out to you. Most of you guys don't know her. You know, one thing I noticed is that people are kind of platform specific. If you enjoy YouTube, you'll probably spend most of your time here. People that are on Facebook, it's most of the time on Facebook. People are platform specific. So yeah, I can understand how most of you guys probably won't know her, but we're gonna find out today. So look, this is what she posted. Okay. Now, if you don't know, she is an influencer of sorts, kind of conservative. A lot of the conservative people that you know who she is. Okay, so look, 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days, it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so, regardless of the harm it will cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask that the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. Now, there's a lot more that was tweeted, deleted. It's already drama between her and Elon. So basically, Elon confirmed it. She confirmed it that is his new baby. And I think that's child number 13 for Elon. Bro, Elon, I understand what you're doing. I get it. You want to be like Nick Cannon to a certain extent. I get it. I understand. But I feel like you're kind of being irresponsible, because what happens is you're going to approach this girl who did not have any option close to what you are. And what she's going to do is accept your offer to basically become part of his harem, just because that's going to be an option that she would never get in her life. But you're altering the course of her life for what? You already got drama. You already got problems. Why would you do that? And I got a question for you guys. I got a question. Have we given up on this whole idea of a two-parent household in wedlock births? Is that a thing anymore in 2025? Marriage, being married before you have a baby, is that a thing anymore? Or, hey, he got money. He could take care of the kids, ABL. Why are you hating ABL? He has money. He could take care of the kids. Oh, so maybe I'm a hater, right? But look, me, ABL, if I wanted to have, listen, can I be frank? And I'm not, listen, when I say this, don't take it the wrong way. Listen, when I say what I'm about to say right now, don't take it the wrong way. I'm not trying to be braggadocious or nothing like that. But listen, if I wanted to have 13, 14 kids, I could have been had them between the ages of 18 and 22. My college days, like, if I wanted to have 14 kids, I could do it. So if I had that many kids at 22 years old, what would the reaction be? Huh? What would the reaction be? Now, what if I got money? Then I'm like a basketball player or something like that, right? The same kind of guys that have a bunch of kids. When you see Anthony Edwards with his baby mama drama, when you see these guys that have these kids and they're not married, but they multi-millionaires, these basketball guys get contracts, $500 million. LeBron about to be a billionaire athlete. So these guys got money, but they got a bunch of kids and they're not married. So what do they get called? how is that seen in society versus what's happening with Elon Musk? Now, I don't want to throw the race card around. I'm just asking the question. Is it about your status, your level of esteem, how much money you have? Is it a race thing? Again, I think it's more about if you got money, it's fine. If you're seen as like the top elite person, then it's fine. If you're seen as irresponsible, somebody that doesn't have any money, or you'll waste money, then it's not seen as okay. So we're kind of just leaning into this whole idea of hypergamy that's happening right now in society. And people are wondering why marriage don't work is because of stuff like this. How is marriage going to work when the regular girl from who knows where can have a child with Elon Musk, a multi-billionaire, about to be a trillionaire? How can the regular guy compete? That's going to be the question that guys are going to ask. But I don't want to get too far down that road. That's kind of a Uncle ABL topic. Now, Lewis says, virtue signaling, explain to me how. Tell me the reason. If you're going to give me that, if you're going to throw that on my name, give me the reason. Give me the reason, let me know. But anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to the article here, okay? Again, this is Elon Musk's brand new baby, all right? And the baby, by the way, is already 5 months old. She was keeping the baby a secret until she said the tabloids are swooping around, all this and that and the third. Some say that the reason why she did this on Valentine's Day, by the way, is because Elon was not with her. He was with somebody else. Then it became a jealousy thing. You see, but that kind of thing can happen when you just have kids willy-nilly without being married to the mother, without a true commitment, because you're not you don't have any, the connection is not really there. And then it begins to get forced, and, or there's going to be conflict due to a lack of communication, a lack of connection, and a lack of commitment. Am I saying anything wrong? Y'all let me know. But this is part of the reason why, before you decide to start a family, it should be some kind of commitment and connection rather than just, okay, hot girl on my Twitter, I'm going to go into your DMs and give you a child, and you're not going to say, nah, because I'm Elon Musk. I don't like that. But let me just read this right quick. We ain't going to read too much. Like I said, I'm going to read some of this and then move forward. So Ashley St. Clair, influencer who claims to have had Musk's 13th child, reveals life of secrecy after whirlwind romance with down-to-earth billionaire. Now, let me just read some of this. I ain't going to read the whole thing. So look, he slid in the DMs, okay? Now, Elon has been able to provide her this beautiful Manhattan, I don't know what you call it, a pad, an estate, beautiful penthouse, whatever it is, that costs like $40,000 a month, $14,000 per month. So Elon, 53 years old. I'm not quite sure how old she is. She might be in her 30s, actually. I'm not quite sure how old she is. 26. Okay, that's what she says. That might be a lie. That's her right there. Okay. And let's keep on going. So she had the child 5 months ago because, and the reason why she disclosed it now, she says is because of the tabloids getting too close. Okay. So Musk has kind of responded. He's not denied it. So look, Ashley and Elon have been privately working toward the creation of an agreement about raising the child for some time. Now, what does that mean? Y'all let me know what that means. 26, exactly, Shannon. I don't think she look older than, she's probably in her 30s. That 26 is probably a lie. You know, and can I say something else? I've seen quite a bit of this where people will lie about their age. Straight up tell you a bold-faced lie to you right in the face. They say they're 25 years old and they're really 45 years old. It's like, I can see you. I can actually see your face. Like you're not 25, but anyway. What does it mean when they say they're trying to work toward the creation of an agreement? I don't understand. Now, look, we are waiting for Elon to publicly acknowledge his parental role with Ashley to end unwarranted speculation and actually trust that Elon intends to finish their agreement quickly in the best interest of the well-being and security of the child they share. What that mean? That means I'm not getting the money for the baby I was promised, and he need to go ahead and just get that done so I can move forward. So look, so they met on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. Now, where are we at right here? He's asking about where is she at, whatever. That's her when she was pregnant with the first baby, who was not Elon's. And this was in 2021. So you had a baby, 2021, 2022? And you had another baby in 2024 by Elon? Okay. And again, the first child is not by Elon, it's by somebody else. There were some claims that she was married, but she was never married. That was a lie. Baby daddy, number one. So at the time when they met, she was 24, he 51. That's kind of normal, to be totally honest. So they met, romance blossomed. So look, Musk allegedly provided her with a lavish apartment in the financial district where rent for a 2-bedroom can soar to nearly $14,000 a month. And she got a hefty security detail, but no romance. Basically, okay, you're pregnant, stay over there and just have the baby. That's what she said. That's what, again, we've not heard from Elon, but she said she's pregnant pregnancy alone. All right. But she went to the inauguration on January 20th, probably with Elon. Now let's continue. Now I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it here, and then I'm gonna ask you guys for your opinion. Look, text viewed by the Post between St. Clair and Jared Burchell, Musk's money manager, appeared to show that she complied with the billionaire's wish to be left off the birth certificate to preserve privacy, security, and confidentiality. Doc, you gotta look. That's going to be a big problem. There's no agreement. You're not following through. You're not on a birth certificate. Man, you might wind up in court. And you know what? Can I say something right quick? This kind of thing right here, this is how Me Too allegations and stuff like that start. Because to the young guys especially, if you do something like promise a woman something, tell her you're going to do something, and she gives you something in return for it. Like, let's say, for example, in this case, okay, I agree to have the baby, but I want you to take care of me financially, take care of this, that, and the third. If you don't do that, it's going to be a problem. Vince McMahon's whole empire crumbled. Why? Because he told the girl at work that he was with, I'll give you $3 million. He gave her $1 million and ghosted her. Okay, you want to play games like that? Well, say goodbye to your entire empire. Me Too allegation, and then it was like a nuke that hit the entire WWE and Vince McMahon personally. That's what happens. And the same thing could be going on right here, which is why she went public, for real. That's why she went public, because he wasn't following through on his end of the bargain. That's rough, man. It's really rough. I mean, hey, what do y'all think? Not really a big deal. Some say mind your business, but I'm reading the newspaper. It's right here. Should I not read the newspaper? Should I just ignore that? Hey, man, I don't see that article right there. I read the paper every day. I have paid subscription. Listen, I'm so much of a nerd. I have a paid subscription to New York Times, a Left Rag. I have a paid subscription, $20 a month, whatever it is. I don't even know. I pay to read Washington Post. I pay to read New York Times. I would pay for New York Post as well if they had an option for it. I pay money to read these articles, and you think I'm gonna pay money to read the articles to be abreast of what's happening and ignore stories that I see right in front of my face? That's crazy. That's totally crazy. So what do y'all think? You think it's all right to have a bunch of kids out of wedlock if you got money? Now, if that's the case, let it be the case. Just say, when you're talking about the single parent household stuff, just say the problem is fathers who don't take care of the kids. Don't say it's the single parent household. If you think it's okay for a guy to have 1 trillion kids, never been married, or he had been married before, but not to the new women, all these kids outside of wedlock, don't say it's okay, and then the next day say that we got a problem in society with single parent households. Those two cannot be true at the same time. And if they are at the same time true, then it's got to be levels. You got to kind of break it down. You got to say that it's okay if you have a rich dad or a good dad who is not married to 15 women that he has kids with. Single parent households are only bad when the father is broke and he's smoking crack and he's not around at all. You can't make a blanket statement about single parent households anymore if you agree with that. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm not trying to attack Elon really or her. They're two consenting adults. And I always say, people ask me about the LGBT stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm not really worried about the LGBT, because if you got two consenting adults and they're doing whatever they're doing, that's not my business. My only problem with the LGBT is when they try to push their ideology onto the rest of us who are not interested. And especially when it comes to the children, leave the kids out of it. A 12-year-old shouldn't be calling themselves transgender. That shouldn't be happening, nor should they be allowed to do so. If you got parents that are allowing it, lock them up too. Lock parents up who allow their children to be transgender, because your kids might want to do a lot of different things. Your kids might think that they can actually fly from a building. Does that mean you should just let them go to the top of the Sears Tower with no wingsuit, no parachute, and just, all right, go ahead and fly? No, you're going to prison, because they're going to fall to the ground and die, and you're going to get locked up for murdering them. You can't just let kids do whatever they want to do. So if you have transgender kids, you need to get sent to the penitentiary. You need to get sent to the penitentiary. How is a kid going to know that? I thought I was a turtle, a Power Ranger. I thought I was a mutant. I was Wolverine, all of that. I thought I was an X-Man when I was 8 years old. But guess what, though? Guess what? My claws never grew, despite my name being Logan. My claws never grew. I never got the Cyclops vision to destroy stuff. I never got the Gambit charging up the cards. I never got those abilities. Okay? I never got that. So maybe my mom did not want to send me to a doctor to get a shell attached to my back so I can be a Ninja Turtle. Maybe she didn't do that because she knows that I'm a human being and I won't be a turtle ever in my life. If you allow your kids to do these kind of things, you need to get locked up. Point blank, period. Thought you were Batman, Crow Minion. Hey, man, me and you would have been a tag teaming superhero fighting duo. We've been out there in the mean streets or in the sandbox just destroying all the crime. You'd have been beating kids up, leaving them halfway dead as Batman. I'd have been eating pizza with nunchucks and all of that in the sandbox. But guess what? That fantasy is not reality. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. I'm super triggered on that. It's hot. I'm about to bust into flames. I'm so upset. But yeah, shout out to Elon. Shout out to old girl. But the hypocritical stuff, man. Like if you see that post on Twitter, everybody, we're so proud of you, man. I'm like, what in the world? What in the world? But yeah, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Monique Price, shout out to you, Monique. Monique says, I respect what Elon has done for Trump, etc., but that's it. This whole thing is just sad for the kids. Exactly. Hey, I love what Elon is doing. I'm not trying to say that Elon is not doing very good in his role over at DOGE, finding all the government waste, fraud, and abuse. I like that. I say, Elon, keep doing that, bro. But what you shouldn't be doing is dipping in the cookie jar of these girls on X, going in the DMs and getting them pregnant and then bucking on them when it's time to pay up. You shouldn't be doing that, though. You shouldn't really be doing that. So that's my only thing. And the same thing goes for anybody, man. Like, I can compartmentalize. There's some things I don't like that some politicos do. And I see a lot of stuff that I don't say. I know a lot that I don't say about what politicians do. But I'm not really worried about some of that stuff. Some of the more personal, off camera type stuff. I'm not really worried about that. As long as you ain't doing anything illegal. Like if you're over here, selling fentanyl or something like that on the side, now we got a problem. If you're stealing money, I got a problem. If you're a criminal, put it to you that way. If you're engaging in criminal activities off the clock or on the clock, that's when I got a problem. But if you're not doing anything illegal, it might just be kind of unethical or a little bit gross. I might not like it. I might kind of turn my nose up when I hear about it, but I'm not going to say that you should be dismissed because of these things I don't like. As long as you are not doing anything illegal and you are doing your job as I wanted you to do, then go ahead, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. You got your vice. Okay, you might be, one of these guys like to do something, a little extra. Hey, as long as you're not putting that online, as long as it ain't no website with that kind of stuff on there for me to see randomly, like as long as I don't open up New York Times and I see you with your hind parts out on the front cover, I'm good. Do that behind closed doors and go to DC and do your job and do your job well. That's all I ask for. You would get fired if you're committing criminal activities or not doing your job. That's it. All right. So let me see. All right. So hold on. Alteration non-Ladir, and I'm sorry for butchering your name, boss, says Elon is not a commitment guy. He likes being with women, and the women he is with see the opportunity for a financial windfall with a baby because he's a billionaire. Hey, you know what? Like I said, I'm not necessarily trying to attack that. My thing is with the reaction from a lot of the conservative influencers who talk about they are, trad cons, traditional conservative, trying to push for the nuclear family to return, all these things to improve society. They say that in one breath, and the next breath, they congratulate her for living that kind of lifestyle. I don't understand. Again, that's their friend. That's fine. I just don't like, it's just hypocritical. Now, I want to move forward away from Elon, but that was on my chest. Thank y'all for allowing me to get it off my chest. I appreciate y'all. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. Let's move forward. Now, speaking about what I said earlier about kids talking about, I want to be transgender. I'm 12 years old. My voice is still high and squeaking and whatnot. I've not had puberty yet, but guess what? I want to be a woman and people accept it as being okay. But then when it comes to Elon and the DOGE people, oh, he's 25 years old. He's a baby. He can't look at spreadsheets. Let's watch.
Help me understand this. A 9-year-old is capable of evaluating their own gender to the point where they can make permanent, life-altering decisions about their body and their adult sexuality. That's going to affect them forever. But a 22-year-old engineering genius savant who deciphered ancient Greek in scrolls that were burnt in the destruction of Pompeii when Mount Vesuvius exploded, he's not capable of parsing out and evaluating government spending spreadsheets. I just want to make sure that's where we're at in the discourse. That's what's going on. We have those two thoughts happening in the same time in our head. Just clear that up for me. I just want to make sure. Help me.
You are 100% correct, sir. And I was saying the same thing from the beginning. They pick and choose when they want to infantilize adults. When it comes to voting, okay, they want to move the voting age down to 16. But then when it comes to working for the government, finding waste, fraud, and abuse, if you're 19 years old, you're still a baby, you don't know anything. You're 25 years old, oh, your frontal lobe ain't developed. And can we please, listen, I got to come back to the bigger screen for this one. Can we please stop using that frontal lobe argument? Can we please stop using the frontal lobe argument? So if you're 24 years old and your frontal lobe's not done developing, are you just a drooling idiot not being able to do anything with yourself? Is that what's going on? Listen, these guys go play pro sports age 18. By the time they get to be 25, they're already a vet. Like, it's silly to think that you can't make a decision for yourself at 25 years old or 22 years old. You're an adult. An adult is an adult. And if we say that an adult is not 18 anymore, then what age is an adult? Why is it not 18? Really, I feel like I was an adult. I was an adult at age 16. I was pretty much an adult at age 16. I was an adult before that. I was self-sufficient. When I was in middle school. So by that time, I was pretty much good. My mom would be at work. My dad was not in the house. So I made my own dinner. Mom would have meal preps in there. I put them in the microwave, or I cook, make my dinner, do my homework, and just entertain myself. And I'm straight. Go to school. I got a key, come in the house, make my dinner. I'm chilling. I see mom at night. That's it. When she ready to go to bed or whatever it is. So by the time I got to be 16, I had a car. I had a car. Look, my mom left out of the country for a month, and I had a house to myself when I was 16 years old. So I got a car, free house. I ain't do no partying. I ain't had no girls over there. Well, I had one girl over there, but that ain't count because we were just chilling. But anyway, I was very responsible at that young of an age. 25, I was already old at that point. So moral of the story is, let's please stop the whole frontal lobe ain't developed argument, because that is so passe. That is so just a ridiculous thing to say. People only say that when they want to infantilize adults. But then when it comes to things like voting, oh, let them vote at age 16. Make it make sense. All right. Did I buy the dinner? Nah, I didn't buy the dinner, but I wanted to work. I wanted to work when I was 14. I just couldn't get a work permit, or I didn't know how to go about doing it. But I was ready to work. I was ready to work in middle school. If I could have worked at 11 years old, I would have. 100% correct. Yeah, it was just one girl. She was chilling. Like it was my stepmad cousin. Like we were over there like after school just hanging out for a minute, but it wasn't nothing going on. But yeah, shout out to her if you're watching, and shout out to you guys who are here. I definitely appreciate y'all for joining. Hold on. Leo Mazzina says if 16 is eligible to vote, that means they can be drafted for the war or even become a member of a jury. That is correct. I mean, they expanding that now. You can be 18. 18 already, but then they say women can be in selective service, which wasn't a thing before. But now we got equality, right? We have equality. So why can't we have women in selective service? I don't think we should have them there. But if we're going to be equal nation, let's be equal nation. Now, it wasn't my cousin, Crowbar. It was my friend's cousin, not my cousin. Now, we were just literally just hanging out. It wasn't nothing like that at all. I was completely a good kid, 100% a good kid. I didn't start living anything else until I got to be an adult. Yeah, I was 100% a good kid, all the way. You working at age 14 at Arby's, Kirsten? Hey, I was trying to be like you. I was trying to be 14 and working. I just didn't know how to go about getting the work permit. Yeah, I did my Old Country Buffet days. I did those when I was I started there when I was 17. Because I was 16 working at, where was I working at? Sam's Club in the summertime, and then this store called At Home. Well, not At Home, it was called Garden Ridge. And then I did Old Country Buffet in second semester of 12th grade. Had my car, everything. And I'll be out of school. I'll be out of school by like 10:30 a.m. I leave school 10:30, go home for a minute, get myself changed into my uniform, and then I go to work. And I work from maybe 1 to close after school. So I had a full 8-hour job in high school. Yep, Chesapeake. Shout out Chesapeake. All right, Urkel, ABL. Urkel, I was trying to be Urkel. I was trying to be the biggest nerd possible, but I'm really from the hood, so I couldn't get it the way that Urkel did it. I wasn't an actor, and that wasn't my environment. I was trying to be the biggest nerd because I knew that nerds got money. I knew that nerds did not live in the hood, which is where I was. And that was my whole thought process, was to escape. So if I could have been Urkel, I would have been, but I just couldn't really achieve it all the way. Yeah, not all the way, but that was my goal. I wanted to be Steve Urkel, the real, not Stefan, trying to be cool and the pretty boy. I'm trying to be pants up to my neck, pocket protector. I'm trying to do all that. But really, I'm a hood kid, so I had one pair of black DC. I call them Air Force. I had one pair of black DCs. That was my thing. I wanted to be Urkel, but I wound up being Gucci Man. That's who I wound up being. Was I a baker? No, I wasn't the baker at Old Country Buffet. I used to help prep for the bakery, but I used to just wash dishes and prep chicken, and I prepped some other stuff. And then toward the end, I would do stuff like they had me cross-training on the line, but I ain't want to be a line cook, though. I want to try to be one of them guys. Some of them guys just came home from the penitentiary. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to be like that because I knew this was just a starting place for me. And then I would go from here and just continue to accelerate, continue to rise. That was my thing. All right. It was a harder job at Old Country Buffet. Can I tell my transgender Old Country Buffet story right quick since we're right here? And then I promise I'll move on. So since we're right here, and then I move on. My first time seeing transgenders was at Old Country Buffet. I was young too. I might have been 19, 20. So this was like 04, right around then, 04. I'm tall, right? I'm 6'3". I'm the same size I was back then. If I had my uniform right now, I could put it on and it'd fit. I'm the same size I was back then. Now, I had never seen anybody like a transgender. I had my cross-dressing uncle. This dude would look like he smoked Newports for a living and work on cars under the shade tree. Out of drag, in drag, he looked like that just with the dress on. That's how he looked. So I saw somebody like a cross-dresser, but never a transgender. It's a difference. A cross-dresser, you can kind of tell. We all saw the whole "it's ma'am." He was cross-dressing a little bit, but he did not have on the glamorous type of cross-dress. He was looking like a 12-year-old girl, but he's really like a 35-year-old man. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. You look like a man still, but you're wearing women's clothing. Now, these guys at Old Country Buffet, I don't know what in the world was happening. If they were retired Harlem Globetrotter players, if they played basketball somewhere on the side, I don't know if I was being trolled, if it was a costume. I'm tall. I'm 6'3". These guys were both 7 foot tall. I'm not lying. These guys, I'm looking like this. 7 foot tall transgenders. They had breasts. Dolly Parton, BBL. They had all of that in 2004. I'm like, what in the world is happening here? Because I'm perplexed. Like, is that a man? I've never seen a woman 7 foot tall. These dudes it was one light-skinned dude and one dark-skinned dude. He looked like Shaq and JaVale McGee. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You'll see. Shaq and JaVale McGee, but with Dolly Parton and Cardi B. Okay? Hair, dress, high heels, all of that. Big dudes, too. Not looking like me. I'm kind of like more of a slim athletic. They're looking like they play football for a living also. So they were tall like basketball players, but built like football players, but they had all the extra stuff. So I'm going out there looking like, and then of course I'm getting my homies in the back like, yo, come out here, look at this. Like, I'm not attracted. I'm just like, do y'all see this? So I'm kind of laughing. I'm young, right? I'm a kid. I'm laughing. And then the manager, she was so nice, white lady. She sounded like Bobby's wife from Bobby's World. Oh, don't you know? Oh, Anthony, they came and said you talked about him. It's like, well, I didn't really talk about him, but you can't come in here at 7 foot tall with Dolly Parton, okay, talking about I'm just normal, and you're here and you're in here all the time. Look, have you guys been to Old Country Buffet? You see like the little bar area where they got it kind of covered. You can kind of see over it a little bit if you're tall enough. These dudes could have like reached down over the thing and picked out their stuff. It was crazy. It was totally crazy. So yeah, shout out to them. Hopefully, if they watching this, bro, it's okay, man. Like it's all in good fun, but you know better than to come in and looking like that. Now, if I see that now, I'm not really as surprised. I've seen that in Atlanta a lot since then. Oh yeah, I went to Colony Square one time in Midtown, and they had some kind of LGBT celebration over there, like in the corner. And I saw some big, some dude that was so tall. He was tall and dressed like the Statue of Liberty. He was dressed like that with the torch and everything. I'm like, man, if I was 19 years old and I had not seen it before, I might be kind of stunned. But now, that's passe. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to them. I don't want to see no more of that type of stuff. If I can, if I can. I don't want to see that anymore if I have the option to, but let's move on. Speaking about Hollywood, costumes, fake stuff, Cheryl Crow. Now, Cheryl Crow is a Hollywood person. If you don't know what she is, she's a singer. What's a Cheryl Crow song? Y'all let me know a Cheryl Crow song. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I can't say that I have Cheryl Crow on repeat or in my playlist in my vehicle on Apple Music, nothing like that. But she has a Tesla, and she said, you know what? Since I hate Elon so much, I'm going to get rid of my Tesla. I'm going to film it and put music on it. So you're going to hear music here. I did not put the music on it. She did that herself on Instagram. Check it out.
Time to say goodbye.
All right. So the Tesla got towed away and she's waving. And y'all know how that you already know what time it is. She hates Elon. She's one of these people that have the anti-Elon Tesla Club sticker on the back of her vehicle. She's one of them. Now look, you might not like Elon. You might want to sell your car. But all this right here is purely performative, purely a Hollywood move. Okay. Now there's an interesting caption here. Now, part of the caption says, my parents said, you are who you hang out with. You are who you hang out with. That's what she said. There's more. I'll read it right there. Or you can see it right there. Okay, Cheryl Crow, your comment again says, my parents always said, you are who you hang out with. All right, well, who that though? Who's that, Cheryl Crow? Huh? Who's the guy with the chest hair out? Now, Cheryl, you sure about that? Hey, Cheryl, are you sure about that? Because that right there tells a lot. So, and you know what? I don't like that whole you are who you hang out with thing. Because I got some guys that I might have been around at one point that might have been doing something that I didn't even know about. Okay? I didn't even know about it. But I'm sure, Miss Crow, you knew about Harvey Weinstein and the casting couch. I'm sure you knew about that. I'm sure you did living in LA. But me, all right, a quick story here. So going back to the whole thing about Jay-Z and the lawsuit being dropped. People are saying that I was wrong for what I said because Jay-Z is aligned with Puff. And they say, well, you know, he's around Puff. That's his friend. And since Puff did X, Y, and Z, then that means Jay-Z did it. That's not what that means because I've been around guys that was involved in some nonsense, but I wasn't involved. So what happened back in the day was when I'm doing graphic design, a lot of the clubs I would service with my stuff, with my flyers or whatever, these guys would start their clubs with drug money. So you can be around that person a lot. And somebody could think that you might be up to no good, but they got to do an investigation. One time there was one guy, he got locked up. He did like 7 years in the penitentiary. He got locked up for trying to sell heroin like an idiot. Like this guy was not a heroin dealer. This guy was a cook at a restaurant. It's like, bro, stick to frying the chicken rather than trying to sell heroin out of this little establishment. And you got to understand, whenever you want to make a club or something like that, and you black, they're going to automatically be on you. They're going to automatically be looking out for any kind of red flags in your account, any kind of red flags in your business, any kind of red flags in your vicinity. They're going to look at you. They're going to look at you because they already know how you got the money for the most part. So they're already going to put you on notice. This guy tried to sell heroin. I'm going to his spot every week or two. I might be going twice a week, maybe once a week with a box, a brown box with nothing on it. I'm going in there with the box and I'm getting money. So if you thought this guy was selling drugs and you see me in there looking like Gucci Man 2006, East Atlanta Santa with a box, a big box, and I'm getting cash money, you're going to think that I'm a supplier or I might be supplying. But all I was doing was just delivering flyers. So me and my stickman, Batman, shout out to Batman, we get audited. Batman called me and was like, hey man, did you get that? I'm like, yeah. We got an audit from the St. Chesapeake. And the audit basically said, call us. And once I got that audit, I already knew what it was. I already knew. What they were trying to do is see exactly what I had going on. Because I'm young. I have no LLC. I don't know nothing about that yet. I called St. Chesapeake. I called them. And the lady, she understood that I wasn't into any kind of drama. She knew by how I was talking that I'm a street person, but I'm not a street person, if that makes any sense. I'm an educated person, so I'm not into the criminality. So she said straight up, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What that meant was, what business are you in to where you're able to make money and to where you're going to have boxes of flyers going to that man's establishment, or boxes? You can't see what's inside. Why do you have these boxes? How do you make your money? And I was honest. I was like, well, look, all I do is club flyers. So I print and design flyers. I drop them off at businesses. I collect money. That's how I make a living. Okay. But if somebody was just to assume that I was a criminal because he's a criminal and I'm looking the way I look, big black guy with boxes, getting money, things aren't always what they seem. Also, if you get accused of what Jay-Z's being accused of, assaulting a child, maybe there should be some type of evidence to say that he did that before we say that he did it. Does that make sense? So yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to everybody. But more of the story is, you cannot judge a book by its cover, especially when that judgment could land in incarceration. Right? Anyway, now George, have you guys seen George Lopez lately? Now, people are saying that they're shocked by his appearance, but for me, I'm not shocked, because this is what Trump derangement syndrome does to you. Oh, and to cap that story off, I was okay. Nothing happened. Everything was good. I never got locked up. I never had a tax penalty or nothing like that. The guy got locked up, but I never got locked up. I never been arrested. So George Lopez, check him out.
My God, it's George Lopez. Dun, 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 dun. Walking down the spirit's hollow. Oh my gosh, George is at the happy place now. Hey. Oh my gosh, George is at the happy place now. Oh yeah.
So how you think George Lopez looks? You think his hair is bouncing? Now, you got a lot of hair. I ain't gonna hold that against him, but I see quite a few guys on the streets that got a lot of hair like that too. Guys that smoke crack for a living look just like that. Now, again, I ain't gonna judge him, but he does look haggard. If the idea is for him to have a haggard look, and that's his new style and his age, how old is he anyway? How old is George Lopez? George Lopez, 63. It's not that old to be looking like that, to be totally honest.
George Lopez is here.
All right, so what do y'all think? Is that Trump derangement syndrome? Is it just him just wanting to look how he wants to look? Is he homeless? I can't tell. I don't think that he's homeless. I don't think so. He's all right golfing guns. Hey, man. Yeah, get a little shape up though. You got hair, you shaking your bob or whatever you got going on, that's fine. But yeah, man, you got to kind of do a little bit of trimming there. Little teeny bit of trimming. But like I said, that might just be his desired look, or that Trump derangement syndrome got you looking haggard. Because a lot of these people, man, when they get obsessed with anything, they kind of look like that. That's that whole I'm in the basement and I got a map with red lines everywhere type deal. All right. But anyway, let's keep on moving here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Now, here's a good one. Trump signs an executive order that will cut all federal funding to schools to have the vaccine mandate. Fantastic. I love it. Hey, you want to get your federal funding schools? Well, you can't force people, you can't force children or the staff to get the COVID-19 vaccination, which at this point we all know ain't nothing but the flu shot remixed. That's all that it is. Hey, you go to Walgreens, CVS, or whatever, you want to get a COVID shot? All right, well, basically you getting the flu shot. Don't they have the tester kit where they can detect flu and COVID? and isn't the shot like marketed as flu and COVID, they might as well just say it's the flu, because that's what it is. The flu is the head cold. COVID is the head cold. It's a variation of the same thing.
Okay, that solves that problem.
So will the Department of Education have to handle that?
Yes, it'll go through the Department of Education.
So there we go. Shout out to Doug Burgum. I like Doug Burgum, actually. Shout out to him. I'm glad he's part of the administration. All right. Now, here he is with, is that Modi, the Prime Minister of India?
President, you've repeatedly called India a big abuser of trade and said it is really difficult to do business in India because of tariffs. You announced reciprocal tariffs today. I am hoping you can speak about what kind of reciprocal tariffs India can expect. Are you willing to make any concessions? And how can India head off these tariffs? I also have one for the Prime Minister.
Well, India's been, to us, just about the highest tariffed nation anywhere in the world. They've been very strong on tariffs, and I don't blame them necessarily, but it's a different way of doing business. It's very hard to sell into India because they have trade barriers, very strong tariffs. We are right now a reciprocal nation. We are going to, if it's India or if it's somebody else with low tariffs, we're going to have the same. We're going to have whatever India charges, we're charging them. Whatever another country charges, we're charging them. So it's called reciprocal, which I think is a very fair way. We didn't have that. I was going to do that in my other term, and we had the greatest economy ever in the world. There's never been an economy like we had, and then we got hit with COVID. We had to focus on that, and I wasn't really in the mood to be putting it on Italy and Spain and France and India, frankly, and a lot of other countries, because the world was very troubled until we got rid of that nightmare. But we had the strongest economy anywhere in the world during that fairly long period of time during my first term, as you know, and we didn't do the tariffs. We would have done the reciprocal tariffs, but we decided, and I decided, I think on a human basis, on a humane basis, not to do them because of the fact that there was such suffering all over the world. The last thing we needed to talk about is trade problems. But now we do. We're doing, we see a tremendous future for our country, but we felt that now it's finally time, after 45 or 50 years of abuse, that we will do, and this isn't India, this is among a lot of nations. The European Union is very difficult for us, very, very difficult. They tax our companies at levels that nobody's ever seen before. They take advantage of a lot of things, so we're not happy about that. China, of course, is terrible, and we've never taken in 10 cents until I was president. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from China since I've been president, in first term and now. And we have to do that just as a mechanism of fairness, and that's what I've done. And so we are being reciprocal with India. Whatever India charges, we charge them. So frankly, it no longer matters to us that much what they charge, because whatever they charge, I had discussions with.
Now, shout out to Trump. There's more to it, but I don't want to make the video to be too long. But shout out to Trump, and shout out to Trump for actually being able to get things done with people. The previous administration, Biden was pretty much just on autopilot, not really doing too much of anything, not answering any kind of questions. It was like, well, it wasn't like we did not have a president for 4 years. There was no president. There was just a guy in a suit. He was the definition, the epitome, as they say, as the cool kids say, the epitome of an empty suit. That's what Joe Biden was. Now we got a real leader in there, and I appreciate that 1,000%. Now, we got our guy RFK Jr. being sworn in. Shout out to him.
On which I'm about to enter, so help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. Senator.
Right on. Hey, RFK Jr., that's one of my favorite selections for the cabinet. One of my favorite, because I'm all about that healthy living. I'm all about maximizing whatever it is you put in your body, taking care of your body. That is a really important thing. So shout out to RFK Jr. I'm glad you're part of the team, bro. We got a Kennedy back in the White House, back on Capitol Hill. I love it. A good Kennedy. Some of the other Kennedys that he has, some of his family members, not so much. All right. Now, going back to Elon a little bit, DOGE is looking into the IRS. How about that? Hey, DOGE, please get down to the bottom of what's happening with the IRS. I will never forget they stole my money. I will never forget they stole my money. Look, I've never been robbed on the street for 5 bands or 10 bands, whatever it is that they took. I don't even want to remember the exact dollar amount, because all I'm gonna do is get more and more triggered. Okay, I was about 1,000 degrees 10 minutes ago. I'm about to get right back to that. I'm about hot as firecracker right now. I'm about to bust in the flames, basically. But please look into the IRS, and if you can find the file that they got on me, get that money they owe me too. Hey, I take PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all of that. Give me my 5 bands back. But anyway, I'm being serious a little bit. They need to be looked into, and there needs to be some reform because there's a problem. Let's watch.
Mr. President, DOGE workers arrived today, Gavin Clagger and others arrived today at the IRS. Do you expect to close the IRS, or what are you expecting?
No, I don't expect.
Wait, hold on. Closing the IRS, hey, do not threaten me with a good time. I got excited like a little dog, tail wagging. You about to go for a ride in the car, about to go play? That's how I feel when you say about to close the IRS. So don't make me that excited now. That'd be a good thing. But let's see what Trump says.
But
I think that the Internal Revenue Service will be looked at like everybody else. Just about everybody's going to be looked at. So it's they're doing a hell of a job. It's an amazing job they're doing. And that force is building. I call it the force of super geniuses, but it's building. And they go up and they talk to some of the people about certain deals, and the people get all tongue-tied. They can't talk because these people get it. They're very smart people. We need smart people, yes.
Exactly. We need smart people. We really do. So shout out to all the geniuses. Shout out to all the really smart guys and girls offering their services to the United States, volunteering to help us get back on track, because we have some really, really dumb people in there. And the funny part is that they think they're the smart ones. They think that they're the elite ones. No, you've just been able to get into a certain position because of the school you attended, family legacy, things of this nature. You're not necessarily the best of the best. You just were placed into a certain position that you're probably not that well suited to do. We have some really, really incompetent people in our federal government, local government too. Brandon Johnson, I ain't gonna make a video. I'm not gonna show a video, but Brandon Johnson, the panic attack mayor of Chicago, this guy is under investigation for taking gifts. It was funny. You're talking about we found some size 14 boots in the gift room. I'm like, bro, really? You leaving your Timberland boots in the gift room? You got fitted hats and t-shirts. It's like, are you 15 years old, Brandon Johnson, living like that? Well, look, if you got gray hair and the mohawk, I already know what time it is. That means you're childish. So you're going to be getting Jordans and Timberland boots and stuff like this as gifts improperly as the mayor. You're going to be doing that. Matter of fact, can I find that right quick? Let me see if I can find that right quick. 14 boots in the gift room, bro. If you don't, man, if you don't stop. Okay, hold on. Chicago mayor gifts. Yeah, here we go. So look, this caption says he's bankrupting the city by spending millions on illegals, yet accepting jewelry, artwork, designer handbags. Is that what we do? Hey, to all the women out there, how do you feel about men wearing purses, handbags, things of this nature? Or what they call it? A messenger bag. Hey, I have a messenger bag. I got a briefcase that's like across my chest. And then sometimes I put it across my shoulder, and then it has like little pockets and stuff on the inside. And sometimes I carry it like this. I got my designer handbag with Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, and I'm carrying it like that. Bro, I'm not even going to carry your purse as a woman. I feel like if I'm in the mall and I'm with a woman and she says, "Hey, can you hold my purse?" I feel like you're trying to disrespect me. I'm not. I put your purse right on the floor. I'm not carrying your purse nowhere. But look, let's look at the gift room, shall we? All right, so there we have it. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. You got ABL merch in there. So we got a NASCAR full jumpsuit, t-shirts, hats, paintings. Okay, I don't see the Timberland boots quite yet, but I'm seeing mugs and pictures, and there go the boots right there. Okay, bro, you got some Chelsea boots in here, and the fedora. Like, there go the purse right there, messenger bag. So that right there, that's a whole night on the town. You got your fedora with the red brim up underneath. That's a pretty expensive hat right there, and you got the fedora box. You got some Chelsea boots, some taller like snow boots, a pair of like lower top flat bottom hard bottoms. Okay, your little man purse, a sombrero, all of that. A picture of yourself, of course, you got to have that because you're vain. Another one right there on the ground. Man, this is what I'm talking about right here. If I'm a mayor, I ain't taking no gifts. Don't give me nothing. Don't give me a thing. I don't want nothing. Matter of fact, all you can give me is your thoughts and prayers when something happens, or give me positive energy, give me positive vibes. Don't give me no gifts. I don't care what it is. It could be a silver dollar. It could be a coconut water. You keep that for yourself, man. Get it to your youngins. Don't get it to me because I don't want to have no problems. Now, USAID paid a rapper $3 million to produce anti-Semitic songs.
Of the Middle East and North Africa subcommittee.
The multimedia marketplace.
Governor, that's what we'd call you in the South if you were thinking about running for governor. Governor.
Governor.
I want to get to your hearing today with Fetterman Powell. Let's start first though with USAID. We were just talking about it. I support PEPFAR. I support these programs because they save so many lives. But I also support it strategically as an old.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. Like, Media Matters for America, or somebody put some kind of mark on that. But I'm not going to watch that. Basically, the point behind that video was that USAID paid a rapper $3 million to produce anti-Semitic songs. USAID pay everybody to do everything. This is from Anna Paulina Luna talking about how USAID has been acting without oversight.
Here's examples of some of the instruction manuals here. 1 and 2, in order to destabilize nations. In addition to that, they advocated for setting up job fairs near some of these rights so that disaffected workers could gain employment. Now, as a member of Congress, I ask myself, did anyone in USAID get elected to Congress? How about to a presidency? When you are acting in the shadows and you are destabilizing nations using race wars to do it and then advocating that the military does it, in my opinion, not only do you put the future generations that would have to fight in those wars in jeopardy, but at the end of the day, you're operating without any oversight.
Exactly. So yeah, USAID, I'm glad that got dismantled immediately. Immediately, it got dismantled. I love it. All right, so let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's move forward here. And where do I want to go next? Oh, did you guys see this? Now, I don't like showing fight videos, but I'm going to show this. This is the Taco Bell lady that got slapped. I'm going to show this to make a point, but I'm not really a fight video kind of guy. If you're looking for World Star Hip Hop, this ain't the place. But I got to make a point behind this video, and this goes to a thing that I said a while ago that is now a reality. Okay, let's watch. So there's a Taco Bell in Los Angeles, of course. They said it has like an open bar or something crazy like this. I don't know. They say it has a bar inside. It's a big Taco Bell, and they got a security guard inside the Taco Bell. So if you're wondering, why is there a security guard in Taco Bell? Well, I guess it's a big location, and it's in downtown. You got all kind of crackheads and everything else that live out there, so you got to have a security guard in a Taco Bell. Now, here's what I think is going on, just for a little bit of context. What I think is happening is you could tell by how she's dressed that she's probably on drugs, and they're telling her to get out. She's refusing to get out, and that's why the security guard comes up to her and does what he does. So you can see that he's trying to get her to leave. She's acting up. If you didn't see what happened, if you can't see the screen, he slapped her in the face while she was at the little kiosk thing trying to order, I suppose. Now, people are saying a lot of different things. But the one point I wanted to make is this guy appears to be some type of migrant. He might be Hispanic, maybe, perhaps, but he might be a migrant. And what I was trying to say before is that when the new people come over here, when the migrants come over here, and they are the ones in charge, and they are the ones being security guards, being police officers, being anything like that, you're not going to be able to use the excuse of civil rights, and that's not going to work. They don't care. They don't care about your historical grievances in this country. If you're acting up, they're going to have no hesitation to do something to you. White guys in this country have become soft, and they're going to give you leniency. White women as well. This is why you could be a repeat offender on the left coast and not really go to the penitentiary. You could be a violent offender and get out with no parole, zero bail. You could be a violent offender. You could be wanted for murder. They arrest you and they get you, you're able to get out on bail. And then you go and delete somebody else and go right back to the penitentiary. That's how soft a lot of the whites have become. Not all, but some. The migrants coming over don't care. They don't care about your historical grievances. They don't care about you being black and I'm oppressed. They couldn't care less. So while people are protesting for the migrants to come in, those very same people are the ones crying about the white man. But you ain't seen that Arab man yet. You ain't seen that guy from Central America yet, the Venezuelan gang member, MS-13. You ain't seen them yet. You should be thankful for what you got right now. Hey, if you have no migrants coming in and it's just you and whites and the natives here, you be okay. Bringing in the new people, you stand no chance. You stand zero chance because they don't care. And they're not going to go to prison because once they start to come in more and more and more, they'll be the ones in the court system. They'll be the ones that's police. You're going to be out back, out of luck. So the moral of that story is you got to stop voting for your own self-destruction. All right. Now, this guy, this is Dr. Luke Wood from CSU. He says racism can give black people cognitive issues, cancer, disease, and headaches. Racism can give you that. Okay.
And how basically being in these environments that are oftentimes inherently racist and sexist and dehumanizing, how that has an impact on you. And it immediately made me think of the work of a scholar and a good friend, Dr. William Smith, on racial battle fatigue. And I know that many of you in here are familiar with that, but if you aren't, essentially what his work does is he has created a framework for understanding the cognitive, psychological, and physiological impacts that racism has on your body, even when you are in environments that are like subtly racist. So what happens to you when you're sitting and situated in these environments, either as students or as leaders or as faculty members or staff members, what happens? And the reason that he calls it racial battle fatigue is because what he has found is that the impact that racism has on you is very similar to combat stress syndrome in terms of the characteristics and manifestations of what that looks like. So first, he says it impacts you cognitively, your ability to process information, retain information, and your focus, your attentional control. Second, he says that it impacts you psychologically, constant anxiety and worrying, anger suppression, resentment, emotional and social withdrawal. And then it also impacts you physiologically, physically. Tension headaches, backaches, elevated heartbeat, upset stomach. And so he also then shows that when those conditions are present, that it has an elevated risk of disease and cancer and other negative outcomes. And so I do think that it's.
So there we go. Racism can give you cancer. Cancer can give you cancer from racism because your tummy hurt. because your tummy hurt, it could give you cancer because you are stressed out because of racism. Okay, that's what we're talking about. A, I don't like soft black men. I don't like soft black men. I don't like soft men, period. But soft black men, we are supposed to be the strongest ones. We're supposed to be the strongest ones. It's the black man. So if we're weak like this, who's gonna be the? There's no strength at all. Listen, bro. West Virginia, my great-grandfather builds 2 houses. My great-grandfather builds 2 houses that still stand right now to this day. A black man. And like during a time of real racism, like where if you did something wrong, you might get lynched. If they thought you did something wrong, you might get lynched. And nobody would do anything. Now, in West Virginia, it wasn't that bad. Like, if you got lynched, you probably did do something. Like, they ain't going to just string you up for no reason. But that kind of threat does not exist today. And what were they doing back then to make a living? Working in the salt mine, working in the coal mine. You breathing in, you got black lung when you like 30 years old. You could get trapped in the mine and die. You got wife and kids, where they going to go? I come from that generation of men. Real men work with their hands and know how to do things that can build, literally build. You talking about what do women say? Oh, can you build me a house? Yes. Okay. I could build it. Let me get some of my friends. We could build it. Ain't no problem. Great grandfather did it. Dad and all them, my uncles, they could do it. Yes, we can. But how are you going to have these masculine skills when you're so soft and weak like that? When you're trying to find all kind of excuses as to why you're not succeeding. And really, that speech right there, that's how he makes a living. He makes a living from doing that kind of speech. I'm pretty sure this guy right here is getting paid a lot of money to be out there talking. How much do y'all think he's getting paid to be out there talking like this? Now, Booker T. Washington is rolling in his grave, and Booker T is from my home. Well, he grew up in West Virginia. Booker T moved to Malden, which is right there by where I grew up. By where I was born, pardon me. He was born in Virginia, came to West Virginia, right in my original hometown from 9 to 16. That was his formative years. He was teaching Sunday school as a teenager. He wound up walking from West Virginia to Hampton. You know how long that is? Listen, to drive from Hampton to where we from, Canal County, that's like 7 hours in the drive over mountains with an interstate system. This was back in the 1800s, right after slavery. He walked through mountains, wildlife, real racism to make it to Hampton, to start Hampton University and other schools all across the country. He is rolling in his grave at this guy who is doing nothing but just talking about my tummy hurt. Soft, weak, ineffective betas. These guys are not going to be able to do anything at all to help society go forward. So yeah, a guy like that, man, you got to go, bro. You have to go. Now, this guy, y'all know who this is. This is Ibram X Kendi, a.k.a. Henry Rogers. Is that his name? Hold on. Let me see his real name. Ibram X Kendi. Y'all know what that is. His name is Henry Rogers. Henry Rogers, Captain America. Well, I'll be 100% real. Ibram Henry Rogers. All right. So let's hear from him, shall we?
For instance, when I'm in 8th grade and there's a Ghanaian American student in our class, and I was sort of leading the way in demeaning him because he was an African immigrant. And, you know, we would in class say things like, I would sort of lead this chant, ref, UG, and we would all like say that. Like it was funny as hell to us, but like. So
you teasing people? Like, all right, let me just hear the rest of this.
Like, you know, and I didn't know that I had internalized ideas about continental Africans from white people. For instance,
okay, so so let me get this straight. If you guys didn't quite hear that, when he was in the 8th grade, there was a kid from Africa who came in and they bullied him. And he's saying, well, the reason why I did that is because the white man put it in my mind to bully him. It's like, bro, just say you were wrong for bullying. Just say that. You're going to blame the white man? There's no accountability. It's okay to admit you did something you shouldn't have been doing, but take accountability, bro. Again, guys like this, no accountability, no masculinity, no building, no leading, just being able to get in front of a microphone and talk for money. And the funny part is that I'm sure the white man put this event on. So you're going to get in front of the white man and tell him how bad he is, and they're going to pay you to do it. It sounds kind of freaky to me, but whatever, man. Whatever you into, like I said, if you got adults that enjoy doing certain things, I'm not trying to really be involved. My name is Bennett, and I'm not in it. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Exactly, yeah, kids do bully, Sharon. That's exactly right. Kids do bully. That's just part of being a kid. Okay, what they should do right now as an adult is just say, I shouldn't have done that. Take responsibility rather than saying, oh, the white man did it. The white man made me do it. Okay, they're getting paid for this. Listen, Ranko, if you know how much they get paid to do stuff like that, if you knew how much they got paid, I mean, you got guys that are no names getting paid like 6 figures a month to do these kind of speeches all over the country. The DEI grift it's out of this world. You would never guess how much they really make. These guys become multimillionaires off of that. And I'm not exaggerating. And if you guys know, you know. These guys become I've talked to them. I've seen them. I've talked to them. They are loaded with money. Loaded with money. Same thing with inner city school administrators. The thing I hate to see the most is when people say, oh, but we got to have more funding to this school. We don't need more funding. It don't cost that much cash to add 2 + 2 and get 4. What you need are 3 things. And I said it before and I'll say it again. You need 3 things for a functioning school system. You got to have kids that actually want to go to school, that show up, that care about education, that love education, that love reading, that love learning. You got to have kids that are motivated. You got to have parents that care about their kids' education and are constantly on them to do right. And you got to have good teachers. If one of those 3 or all of them are not working, you're not going to have success. The main thing you got to have is the kids. I said it in order, really. The kids got to care. Then the parents got to be able to keep the kids in check, keep them on track. And then beneath that is the teachers. That's the last thing. Because if the parents have prepared you properly for school, it's easy because you got a lesson plan, you got worksheets, you have an environment to learn. You could go there and thrive. That was my situation. I was prepared to go to school when I went to school. So I'm getting straight A's as a kid. It was fun to me. I enjoy reading my books, my Goosebumps and R.L. Stine, Fear Street. I enjoy reading. It was fun. So I was always getting straight A's, but a lot of kids never got that love for reading. So they struggled throughout their entire career, throughout their entire school career, K through 12. They always struggled because they never had any kind of love for it. Their parents didn't care. My mom was like a hawk on my report card. I'm talking about before I told her I got it, she's in my book bag looking at it. She ain't played no games. Okay, you got a B. What's going on? You all right? My mom was like an African mom, basically. I know, hey, Africans, if you're here, I know your parents. What is this A? Where is the plus? Hey, come back with the plus on the A. The A, it's an F. Where's the plus on the A? That's how they be. If you don't get A+++, you fail. You pretty much are dumb. You're an imbecile. And they're gonna call all of Africa to tell that you didn't get straight A's on your report card or not straight A+. Okay? If you say to your African parents, hey, you know what I want to be? I want to be a comedian. A what? They're going to be, hey, everybody going to get called. Do you know what your nephew wants to be? He wants to be a comedian. That's in this house. We pay for the education. He wants to be a comedian. they're not gonna like it. That's how my parents were too. They were like that. And that's why I'm the way I am. And that's why I don't tolerate these people who come with these soft, I hate it. I hate it a lot. Yeah, they're calling all of Africa, Sue. They're calling everybody. They're going to go through their phone and it's going to be a WhatsApp group chat and you're going to be the subject because you didn't get the A pluses. All you got was, you got 4 A's and the B with no plus. That's your dad, Cool Jamie? Hey, man, I'm right there with you, man. Angela B, same thing with you. Mom slap you upside the head? Absolutely. Sunny Day says, I am white and I have loads of stories to tell that have not been told. Being bullied and worse by Hispanic, Mexicans, Jewish, blacks, just carry on. Also been bullied by whites. That's part of it. That is part of it. Hold on. Kim says, it's not an African thing. That's a good parent thing. Mine were the same way. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to your parents. Yep. You got to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer. Anything else, you failed. You failed. You at home working, you don't have no job. You're unemployed. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, this person, going back to what I was saying earlier about the parents, if you have a transgender child, I blame you. You're the parent. You want to let that thing happen. You want to allow your kid to be so-called trans. You're getting locked up. Now, this is an example of a parent that is not all the way there. Hey, the lights are on, but ain't nobody home. The trees are not completely full in the forest. It's kind of patchy. You're a few crayons short of an entire 64 count box. This person is upset at Trump for the whole transgender ban kerfuffle because she has a so-called trans child. Let's watch.
Was deeply hurt and scared and sad and all those things.
Sarah Moscones has a daughter who is transgender. She was recently approved for additional care. Then Sarah said following the signing of President Trump's executive order, her daughter's appointment was canceled.
I said, well, is this because of the executive order? And they confirmed that it was deeply hurt. And
maybe your son can actually become a boy, a man, rather than being drugged up and trying to become feminized. And this is what I'm talking about right here. How are you going to have white guys that have any kind of strength when you got mothers like this who intentionally feminize their boys? And it goes beyond race because we're seeing Dwayne Wade and his son calling them a girl when he's 12 years old. How can these boys grow up to become men, to become leaders, to become builders, to become the next generation that we need to push the nation forward? How is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? It can't happen. Now, speaking about the Transformers, we got Fetterwoman. Fetterwoman. A lot of you guys like Fetterwoman. A lot of you guys think that Fetterwoman is cool. And it's fine. He says some things that I like. Some things I like he says. He supports Lake and Raleigh Act. He is against a bunch of the illegal immigration as far as I know. So some things that he says I appreciate, but I don't look at him as a conservative person. I don't look at him as anybody that I would vote for ever in my life. I just think that he has some things that I agree with. Now, let's get to this older video. Then we're going to get to the newer one.
My name is John Fetterwoman.
All righty, Fetterwoman. There you go. John Fetterwoman. You 6'8", looking like you done played football, but you kind of out of shape. You looking like Luka Doncic if you just stopped playing basketball with the knot knees and you tall. That's how you look. But anyway, Fetterwoman. That's his name. That's what I'm going to call him until he tightens up. So look, here he is running the transgender flag. Now, this is what I hate. This flag with the black and the brown, I'm highly offended. And whenever I see it, I'm going to point it out. Because when I was a kid, the pride flag, or whenever that came out, I'm not sure if it was always when I was a kid, but I always remember it was just the rainbow colors that they took from the Christians, by the way. So they took the rainbow from the Christians, put it on the flag and said it's the pride flag. Then they kept adding things. They added the black and the brown to represent black and brown people. Now, I don't want to be included in this. I don't want to be included in the LGBT stuff. If somebody's LGBT, that's their business. That's fine. I'm not trying to hate on nobody. You do what you do as long as you consent in adults. That's not my life. I don't live that way. But you do you. However, as I said from the beginning, and as I always say, don't include me in your nonsense. Leave me out of it. Fetterman is going to do the same thing that the flag does, which is include black people into LGBT nonsense, which again is not the same thing. They want to attach to our pain, to our legacy, to our history, to advance whatever they want to advance. So when they say something like, okay, we want to be able to make 10-year-olds transgender, and we say, well, that's not really right. They should wait to adulthood. What's the response? Oh, well, you're racist. You hate the black and the brown people. See how that works? Let's watch.
Hi, this is Senator John Fetterman. I'm standing in front of my office and two flags that are two core values of mine. I am an unapologetically pro-military, also very pro for the LGBTQ communities. And I would like to remind everyone that it was a time when it was very controversial to desegregate our military. And there was a time it was incredibly controversial to have women serve in a combat roles. And it was also very controversial regarding on who loves. That's why I'm encouraging you to honor the inherent dignity of how you identify. And I'm going to defend and lean in for the trans community now, because right now it might not be popular to do that. That's exactly the reason why I'm choosing to lean in on right now and stand with this community. I am calling to rescind that kind of executive orders and to allow and honor the inherent dignity of the soldier, and regardless of whatever the race is, whatever the gender is, whatever who they love or how they identify. And remember, that does make for a military that's fully compatible with being lethal and to win wars.
All right, so there you go. So the transformers in the military, John Fetterwoman wants to compare that to being black and, you know, segregated military, all this, that, and the third, just all kind of weird stuff. And it's like, bro, come on, man. Like, that's not where we at, man. That's not how we're going to do things. But that's what they want to, that's what they think. That's what the left thinks. And this is why I say a guy like Fetterwoman, he's not what you may think. Again, he has some things that, you know, I guess he says some good things sometimes, but still very much so on the left. All right. Now, this is an older video of Serena Williams talking about just how different men and women are when it comes to sports. This is an old video, by the way. One more time, it's an old video, if anybody is asking. Now, you see how big physically Serena is. You can see the muscles and all of that, but she's still a woman. Let's watch.
Actually, it's funny because Andy Murray, he was been joking about myself and him playing a match. And I'm like, Andy, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Because for me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Because no, it's true. It's true. It's a completely. Really? It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game, and I love to play women's tennis, and I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you kill me. Actually, it's funny because. So
there you go. There you have it. So yeah, shout out again to. Shout out to Serena for keeping it all the way real. She's telling you, like, nah, we can't do it. It's two different sports. Male tennis, female tennis. And you can see her size, but still, just because she got muscles, all this kind of stuff, she's still a woman. And men and women are physically different. Skeletal structure, muscles, all of that are different. All right? So, yeah, shout out to her in that old video. And if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's keep rocking and rolling. And where are we at right now? All right. So we have Canada. Are they booing us? So we got a little bit of booze going on. So what's happening is that some Canadians, not all, shout out to the Canadians that know how to act, but some Canadians are booing whenever they hear the U.S. national anthem being sung at sporting events because of the whole thing about tariffs and Trump being in office, all this, that, and the third, right? That's kind of what's going on there. So, yeah. Hey, again, shout out to the Canadians that got some sense, but unfortunately, a lot of your cohorts do not have sense. All right, now where are we going to go next? There is quite a bit happening here. Oh, now this is good right here. So this is, matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. I'll do it this way. Okay. Here's a protest. I'm not quite sure where it is. Now, there's a protest here, and there's a car. It says F Trump, no ICE, something like that. We got Mexican flags all over the place. We got one American flag, by the way. Well, it's halfway American. A Mexican flag on it, too. It says F Trump, no ICE.
Ladies and gentlemen,
honk for Viva Mexico.
Welcome to Los Angeles, California, the heart of the Golden State where dreams come alive. From the bustling streets of downtown to the scenic views of Malibu, experience the magic of Los Angeles. Enjoy your journey in beautiful California.
I can feel. So you see the whole thing right there. My thing is, look, whenever we got these mass protests, let's call them people. Hey, y'all know how I do. I'm Mr. Call the authorities. Yeah, I'm that meme. Like, yeah, Tom Homan, can you come down here right now? I'm on the corner of X, Y, Z, and this, that, and the third. Come on and get them people right here. They all got the flags. They're talking about Viva la Raza, all that kind of stuff. Yo, come right now. They out here. That's what I would say. That's how I rock. Now, let's get to the next one. So this is in New Zealand. So these are Man Up protesters. They interrupted Auckland's Rainbow Parade, calling out the woke agenda and accusing New Zealand police of prioritizing rainbow flags over law and order. All right. So these guys are doing the haka right in the middle of the Pride Parade. I love it. Let's watch. So my question is, who wins? Who wins in the protest contest? Is it going to be these boys or is it going to be the LGBTQ elemental P X, Y, and Z? Personally, I say, hey, boys, y'all come on down to United States or up to the U.S. Go to San Francisco. We need your services immediately in San Francisco. That's where I want you to go. And the pointing, I love it. Hey, shout out to the young boy right there. I love it. We need that all over this nation. Now, look, if I could have that in the streets rather than the Pride Parade, I'm with it all day long. All day long. So, yeah, shout out to the counter protesters out there in, again, Auckland, New Zealand. I don't know how they got Pride all the way down there. You're like in the middle of nowhere, literally the middle of nowhere. Why is there Pride out there? It's because you got social media. You got the electronic poison hitting them. That's what's going on. But shout out to these boys for standing up for what's right. All right. Again, it's out there in New Zealand. Now let's keep on rocking and rolling. Do I have a little bit more? I think I got some more. I have more. Oh, this was funny. Rachel Maddow. Have you guys been watching television like MS-13 DNC, things of this? Have you guys been watching that? I don't watch TV. I watch a lot of clips and stuff online. I read a lot. I read a lot of papers. I'm on social media a lot, looking at videos. I don't watch TV at all. Like at all. I watched the big game a little bit, and then that was it. I don't even watch sports like that anymore because sports then got so weird and fake. And I feel like there's a lot of cheating going on. Ever since gambling came into the game, like basketball especially, I feel like it's fake. So I don't watch a lot of TV. But if you guys have been watching, I know you see the big push to talk about everything that possibly can being wrong with Trump from Project 2025. That was a big thing for a while. That was like the talk of the town. Oh, Project 2025. You're going to get put back in chains. That kind of thing was going on with that. And it's still going on. Now, Rachel Maddow is doing more of the same. And she was wrong. A whole segment. And she was wrong. Let's watch. And then at the end, we're going to get the reveal of what actually took place. Check it out.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
All righty. So what's up? So Rachel Maddow, is it okay now? Are you going to do an edit? Like what's really going on? Because remember, you just said that there was a contract. You're talking about bulletproof Teslas, all kind of stuff. But now you know that what happened was it was a contract that was already given under the Biden administration. So what's really going on? You let me know. What's really happening here? They always do that. And they might issue a retraction and you barely going to see it. And everybody knows the main thing that everybody sees is the main thing that everybody sees. All right. So yeah, shout out to Waters. Shout out to my man over on Fox. Here's something else. Doug Ford. Doug Ford is slamming Trudeau and his Liberal Party because the federal government is the main way that drugs come into the country.
And
all right, let's watch.
I got a call from Mayor Ellis in Belleville thanking me over and over again for them getting a heart hub. They're getting more money. They're getting proper help outside of Safe Supply. That, do you believe it or not, the federal government's the largest drug dealer in this country. You can go in and get heroin, you can get anything, and they support it. You can't give it. It's like giving a gambler $1,000 and tell them to go into the casino, or an alcoholic, give them an LCBO card to go into the LCBO and buy all the booze they want. They believe in it. I don't. I believe in supporting people and giving them help. And I got to make.
Exactly. And that's what they do in California with the whole enabling thing. You know, they enable everything, and then they're wondering why they get so much of it. They get so much of it. It's like, come on, man. You have to understand what you're doing here. What you're doing is enabling the addicts. And as long as you enable it, you're going to continue to get more of it. Same thing with the homelessness. Okay, you're going to have, if you are enabling them, you're giving them 3 hots in the cot, you're giving them, they built a whole house, not a house. They built an apartment complex, a tower right there downtown by Skid Row. If you're doing that, all you're going to do is increase the number of homeless that flock to your area. And we're like, oh, okay, we get to get this. All right, well, cool. Let's go ahead and do it that way. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's go over there. Let's go to California and smoke crack rather than New Hampshire or somewhere like this. It's going to be warm. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a good place to be. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Again, that was Doug Ford. Shout out Tom Ford. I'm not a fashionista. It was just in my head. Doug Ford out there in Canada talking about Trudeau's Liberal Party incentivizing the homelessness. Now, here's Carville. Now, it might be a little bit of cussing, so cover the little kids' ears. This is Carville talking about the Democratic Party. And he kind of reminds me of me, just a liberal white guy version of me, talking about how soft people have become. All right, let's watch.
We ran a presidential election. If we were playing the Super Bowl, we started our seventh string quarterback. That's what happened. Okay, you can't address a problem unless you're honest about a problem. And none of this was inevitable. Now, if you were to put the staggering talent that exists in today's Democratic Party, you heard what I said? The staggering talent that exists in today's Democratic Party.
Staggering talent? What staggering talent? Tell me, okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you the question at the end of this, but staggering talent, I'm not quite sure that I know what you mean. Let's keep on going.
And people would have seen that. They'd have gone, I didn't know they had people like that can actually complete a sentence. Okay, that actually can know how to frame a message, that actually have a sense of accomplishment of doing something. If we would have excited people, and we would have had people from the middle of the country, we would have had people from the coast, we'd have been diverse, and then when you do that, that's how people get involved in politics. We have not had an inspirational presidential candidate since 2012.
And
that's a problem.
When you have a primary and a contest like the playoff, you get a big winner, and that credentials the nominee. They earn it. James suggested earlier, and I was 1,000% for this, we can have a short primary here instead of anointing somebody. And I got called to like a secret meeting with a bunch of senior White House people after the terrible Biden debate with some other non-Trump, Trump opposing Republicans. And I said, this Carville thing is right. Go do a minute. Let Whitmer go beat somebody, or if Kamala's that good, let her beat somebody to make her somebody, not just an appointment. She was nominated on a telephone conference call.
So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, my question to you guys was going to be this. Who do you guys think is a masculine figure in the Democratic Party right now? Who's a masculine figure? Okay. Now, as you guys ponder that, I'm going to play this one. And then I'm going to show you guys a poll. I'm going to show you guys a poll after this of who the top people are right now in the Democratic Party.
Men have not become much more conservative, at least according to Gallup, but they have become more Republican. So you have this interesting...
Wait, say that again, the men?
They have not identified as more conservative, but they are becoming more Republican. So from the Obama era, young men and young women were Democrats, right? For both elections, strong majorities of young men and young women voted for Barack Obama. And then you had a slow decline, right? This didn't happen in just one election. There's been a deterioration of Democratic identity among young men for over 10 years. And so
are you saying specifically they turn against Democrats?
I'm saying that they are more, yes, they are more Republican now, but not necessarily because they've shifted to the right on issues like climate change or abortion or same-sex marriage. They're still well to the left of their dads and grandfathers when it comes to that stuff. And so you have this really interesting situation where this group, again, looks on paper fairly liberal in a lot of ways. And in point of fact, you had 6 in 10 young men who are moderates vote for Trump, and more than 1 in 5 liberal young men vote for Trump, right? And so if we're going to look for explanations, we need to move beyond issues. We need to understand, there's something about Trump that was attractive, and then there's something about the Democratic Party, at least in its current manifestation, that was repellent.
I was really struck by you saying, especially that, even if they are more likely to identify as Republicans, they're still far more liberal than the men of generations before them. And I think that that's something that would that would surprise a lot of young women like myself to hear that. I was surprised.
So what is it that we're missing about, or what is it that people who are not, as Magdalene said, people who don't understand why? That's my first question. I have a second one, but go ahead.
Okay, so what I would start with is men aspire to be bigger, stronger, and faster than we are, almost universally. That's why superheroes are popular. That's why pro athletes are popular. Who is the most masculine Democrat right now in America?
So, who is the most masculine Democrat in America? You guys are already answering it because you already saw my video for the most part. And I think a lot of y'all, before I even said it, y'all were going to say who I said. I say it's Big Mike. Big Mike, and if you guys don't know, because some of y'all were asking, who's Big Mike? Big Mike is Michelle Obama. That's what we call Michelle Obama, Big Mike. So Big Mike is the most masculine person in the Democratic Party right now. I mean, who else do you have? Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to leave that right there, but I want to show you guys a poll. This poll is of potential 2028 front runners in the Democratic Party. All righty. Are you ready? Now, let me give you guys two things. I'm going to give you guys a picture of the people, and then I'm going to give you guys the actual numbers. Okay? So look, these are your top 5 people in the Democratic Party right now who could be running in 2028. All right? This is them right here. Now, look, you have Kamala, AOC, Tampon Tim, Gavin Newsom, and Pete Buttigieg. And, of course, the picture right there, the bottom right-hand corner, that's Pete Buttigieg with his husband and their 2 adopted babies. So, when I say the Democratic Party has nobody, they don't have anybody, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. They don't have anybody. Now, here are some numbers. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to just read them off to you. Now, the question is, if the 2028 Democratic presidential primary were being held today, for whom would you vote? All right. So you had Kamala, number 1, 36%. Pete Buttigieg at 10%. Tampon Tim, 9%. Gavin Newsom, 6%. AOC, 5%. And then you got Gretchen Whitmer, Mark Cuban, Josh Shapiro, Jasmine Crockett, John Fetterwoman. Fetterman with a brain injury, really? And what's his percentage? Fetterman is at 2%. Cory Booker, J.B. Pritzker, Raphael Warnock, Jared Polis, Andy Beshear, Ruben Gallego, Wes Moore, Stephen A. Smith. Listen, Stephen A. Smith, I would never in my life ever vote for Stephen A. Smith. And you know why I wouldn't vote for him? Not because he's a liberal necessarily. I mean, that's part of it. That's a big reason. That's number one reason. But the thing about Stephen A. Smith is that he's a flip-flopper. He'll say whatever he thinks he needs to say in order to be able to get ahead or be political. And as I told y'all from the beginning, I didn't take all these arrows and all this abuse and all this risk to say what they said I shouldn't say, to then have to say whatever they want me to say because I'm in a certain space, because I work for Disney and Bob Iger's my boss and I can't say anything that's going to upset the big boss. I don't like living like that. But again, Stephen A. Smith is on that list. But out of this list, do you see anybody that you wouldn't vote for if you were on the left? I mean, Kamala got stomped out so bad, it wasn't even funny, man. It wasn't even funny. And you know what really happened with Kamala? Kamala was never going to beat Trump, but she was so bad that she beat herself more than anything else, to be totally honest. She beat herself. That's kind of what that was. She beat herself. So yeah, not a very good list. But yeah, Big Mike is 100% the most masculine person in the Democratic Party. And it's not even close. It's not even close. All right. I think that might be, yeah, I'm running out of time right here. We're about to get to the super chats and then get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. I'm going to play Jamal Bryant right quick, and then I'm going to get to the super chats and the calls.
Come on, Pop.
Now, I want to opine briefly about the church, about the community church especially. What's up with these guys dressing like this, man? Like, this guy has on lime green pants with a purple hoodie with graphics and stuff on it. Why are you wearing that as a pastor in church? When I was a kid going to church, West Virginia, especially when I be up there in the summertime, the black boy church outfit was white shirt, black pants, black shoes, black socks. That was your church outfit. Maybe you got a tie if you want to be really fancy, but that was your church outfit. Okay? And if you were a man, you were an adult, you put on the suit. Didn't have to be a good suit. It could be straight from the rack. JCPenney's at best. It could be a hand-me-down suit. I had hand-me-down suits. Hand-me-down jackets, whatever. It still looked good. You wearing your uncle's jacket, stuff like this. Matter of fact, there's a picture of me where I'm wearing somebody else's jacket. You guys might have seen the picture. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm tripping. I'm doing too much. I'm showing my regular screen. Let me go to IMDb right quick. All right, let me go to IMDb right quick. And I'm going to show you how I had on somebody else's jacket. But, and the point behind me saying that is, you don't have to have necessarily even your own clothes, but you need to be wearing appropriate clothes. So this picture right here, let me tell you something about this picture. So this is in Dallas. What was this? This was 22. This had to have been 2022. Yeah, 2022. I'm in Dallas. And they kind of caught me off guard because this right here is for the Uncle Tom 2 premiere. Now, I was in Dallas. I was just enjoying the sights. I'm outside, going to the park, whatever. I'm with a young lady. We out there just hanging out, chilling. And then they call me like early before I'm supposed to be there. And they're saying, hey, we want you to come to the studio and be the MC at this roundtable. I'm like, okay. But I'm kind of just out here. I'm not really prepared, whatever. But they wound up like finding us right there on the street and taking us to the spot. So I have on, I forgot. But anyway, I have on like regular pants. She said I got on like white shoes. And I got on the polo shirt because I was just out there chilling at that day. I didn't have my suit. I had my suit, but I wasn't wearing it when I was just outside in Dallas. So they came and got me. I have on the polo shirt, a regular pair of pants, and some shoes. So what they did was they had to find me a jacket in the studio to wear for this picture and for the roundtable. So what's my point? The point is that you could wear hand-me-downs. You can wear your cousin's jacket, your uncle's jacket, your friend's jacket, and it's fine. You can share clothes. You can share suits. But why, Jamal Bryant, why must, and shout out to everybody in the picture. If you guys don't know, Justin Lee Peterson, we got Alan West. And by the way, Alan West was like so nice, so kind, a really, really good stand-up guy. And he's the kind of guy where you can talk to him and you know he'd be the nicest guy to you. But if you do something crazy, he'll have no problem stomping you in the wine. That's how he was. But I love Alan West. Shout out to Alan West. All these guys right here are good. Of course, you got Brandon in the front, and then you got my man Chad Jackson right there. Shout out to all of them. And Chad is the one that is the movie's producer of Uncle. And again, this is for the Uncle Tom Part 2 premiere in Dallas back in 2002. All right. Yeah, but everybody was cool. Let me go back. Let me go back to Jamal Bryant. Why are you wearing streetwear in church? I don't really understand. Let me just play this, then I'll respond, and then we keep rocking and rolling.
Come on, Public Enemy. I came to tell white supremacists. I came to tell MAGA. I came to tell white privilege. We coming, we coming, we coming. We coming, we coming. God said, when you give me glory, I'm gonna run them out of the State Department. If you give me glory, I'ma run them out of Congress and run them out of Senate. If you give me glory, I'ma run them off your job and run them off of your classroom. I need you to take your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, we gotta shout like we got faith. Come on, Public Enemy.
So all of that hooping, all this, that's called hooping. And that style, people like it. I mean, I suppose, but I mean, at this point, I really don't want to hear that. I really don't want to hear that. It don't do nothing for me. For some people, it kind of get them in it. They feel like, and that's what my man was doing at the inauguration, a man from Detroit. And shout out to him. I'm not trying to attack homie, but I did not expect no hooping at the inauguration. Now, if you go to Jamal Bryant Church, you're going to expect hooping, all this dry throat activity, no water activity, dehydrated activity, desert, 1,000-degree activity. You're going to expect that from Jamal Bryant at this church in Atlanta. But at the inauguration, I was not ready for the curvaceous hills. I was not ready for that. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Please calm it down. I appreciate the passion, but turn that down a tinch, just a tinch. Anyway, basically, if you couldn't hear what he was saying, he's talking about MAGA and white people, and we're going to take them down, and we're going to come get you. Bro, y'all not going to do nothing. All they're going to do is put money in the pot, and you're going to go out there and get some more fashion, some more gaudy jewelry, some more pimp attire. That's what you're going to do. These big pinky rings and all kind of Huggy Bear type activity. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to do anything to really affect any kind of change. Then you want to do a Target boycott for like 40 days. Bro, for what? All you're going to do is just damage the black brands that call Target home. Like the Lip Bar and who else? Tasha, I forget her last name. Shout out to her. The black woman is an actress as well, has products at Target. All you're going to do is just hurt them. Target not going to be hurt. They don't really care. Y'all not bringing that much money, no way to keep the books afloat, to be totally honest. So they're not going to care. All you're going to do is hurt yourself. Talking about we're going to find black vendors to go to during this fast of Target because they have done away with DEI. DEI does not help the black community. DEI helps the LGBTs. And it goes back to the whole flag thing. They put the black and the brown in there to lump you in with LGBT activities. So when they say DEI hurts minorities, what they mean is it hurts gay people, not black people. But you think you're included because you're on the flag, and they're going to market it that way because you're part of their team now, and you're not really trying to protest against that. What I'd be doing in church is saying, you know what, black people, let's not allow ourselves to be part of their LGBT agenda, their anti-God agenda. How you going to be in church now, talking about supporting DEI, which goes against the very things you preach about in church, or it should. And if you are preaching DEI, what book are you reading? Because in the book that I read many times, it don't say that in there. It don't say, there's plenty Deuteronomy. It says that in there that you shouldn't be supporting that, but whatever. People do whatever they want. The church I knew as a kid, it exists, but it's kind of the last of the Mohicans, last of the dying breed. You know, that's what that was. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to Jamal Bryant. Shout out to the church. Hopefully they kind of get their mind right. And of course, Jamal Bryant got a pass, philandering with church members, cheating on his wife, all kind of stuff. It's weird. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All righty. Let me get the super chats and let's see where we're going to start. Shout out to Ashley Hollinshead for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to H. DeVille, who says, action-packed ABL in the ATL starring Mr. H. DeVille would be a good movie. Hey, man, let me know what's going on. Thank you to Dolores Renteria for for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you to the White Man for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that. Shout out to the White Man. Already read that one. Thank you to Monique Price, who says, I respect what Elon has done for Trump, etc., but that's it. This whole thing is just sad for the kids. Correct. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, if 16 is eligible to vote, that means they can be drafted for the war or even become a member of a jury. Thank you to, where we at? Thank you to Virginia the Godmother for being a member and saying, hi, ABL, I'm 63. My frontal lobe is ready to retire. I heard that. Thank you to Kai Sproximus, who says, my pops had stores I worked at 9 years old. Hey, man, it must be nice. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work when I was middle school. By middle school time, I was ready to work, but it just wasn't a legal thing to do. So as soon as I could get a job, I was out. I was out working immediately, instantly. Thank you to It's Lanita, who says Elon will do what women allow him to do. Sure will. Thank you to Jamie, who says ABL definitely wore the bee costume. Nah, I never did wear the bee costume. I was too big for the bee costume. Some of my friend, she wore the bee costume. She probably was like regular height, 5'3", 5'4", something like that. She wore the bee costume. Me with the costume on, I was too big. I'd have been in there sweating bullets. You hear me? Because I'm slimmer than I am. I was kind of bigger at certain points. When the bee costume came about, I might have been like 240 pounds. Man, I'd have been in there. It'd have been stinking and sweating. It'd have been a mess. Thank you to Dolores Renitria. And I think I did try to be helmet on one time. And I smelt it. I was like, you know what? Never mind. You got it. Thank you to Dolores Renetria for the winking emoji. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Kayesh, who says, per Tucker, Ukraine sold the cartels major weapons. What, the Mexican cartels? Thank you to Kayesh again, who says, Putin refused Trump's G7 invite for peace. Now what? Well, I don't know what to tell him. Thank you to Albanese, who says, ABL, have you considered publishing your memoirs? Yes. I have a lot of projects on my plate. It's a lot. I got to do a lot of different things, man. I got the other channel I got to do still. I got more here I want to do. I want to do more of the story time videos. I want to do a whole lot. I want to do a lot more even beyond YouTube as well. We got to do the tour coming up to come see you guys. So there's quite a bit I want to do. Thank you to Elizabeth Peterson for the thumbs up emoji. Thank you to Kayash, who says, ABL, do you think the H-1B visa program is a scam program? Nah, because you're able to actually vet people. That's the main thing. With the unfettered illegal immigration, you just letting every time Dick and Harry come in. Now, if you're able to get vetting that happens, then that makes a lot more sense. Although it is being abused and you are just kind of letting every time Dick and Harry come into the country, they're pouring into the country with the abuse of it. And plus there's people that are pretty much being sold. So in theory, it is not a scam, but in essence, it can be when it is abused, if that makes any sense. All right. Shout out to Nico Doodle or Nikodal, who says, do you have any plans to apply for White House press credentials to attend press briefings and ask questions directly? I've done it, but it's going to be a long list. It's going to be a long wait. I'm sure there were thousands of people who have, probably tens of thousands who applied for that on the low end, I would say. So just a matter of time. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, IRS, we're watching the watchers. DOGE, go, 100%. Thank you to Papa Naya Shedley, who says, I knew Kumo D. He didn't used to live downtown, 129th Street, the Wild Wild East. Sorry for the horrible old school hip hop joke. Hey, shout out to you, man. That's all good. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, I didn't know racism caused my back to be aching. I thought it was just old age. Hey, man, that's what I thought. I got a little backache or something like that. I never thought, you know what? My back is on fire right now because of some random person who was racist toward me that I don't even really know. Okay, a random person on the internet said the N-word and they made my back just flare on up. I thought I was just laying in the wrong position in the bed. Thank you to Cardinal O'Flanagan, who says, good point, ABL, generation of men like proper male men. Exactly. That's what we got to have in this country, man. Black, white, Puerto Rican, and Canadian. We got to have real men. If we got a bunch of these guys that don't know if they male or female, and it's to the point now where you got guys that don't know if they are a human being or not. If that's going on, then how are we going to have a successful society with these guys to pick from as leaders? It's not really going to happen. Thank you to Windy USA, who says, wait, you just validated a woman being slapped by a man. You didn't protect, you justified it. My patriarchy men don't hit women in my family. Nah, you missed the whole point. The point is that people who are marching for the illegal aliens don't understand that when they come here, they're not going to care about you. They're not going to care about protecting you. They're not going to care about your grievances, because what's going to happen is this, right? You're going to have so-called black leaders come out and try to protest that Taco Bell, but ain't nobody going to care. That's the point I'm making. Ain't nobody going to care. They're not going to deport that guy if he's here illegally. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you want women to be protected, especially black women, then why would you be bringing in these illegal aliens from all over the world? You bring in the violence right to them, and these people don't care about trying to protect women, because in their own home country, it's all right to slap women. You take what you have here for granted, and you don't realize how good it is. You don't realize how good you have it here. You don't realize the freedom that you have as a woman. In other parts of this world, you can get slapped right in the mouth by a man, and nobody gonna do nothing about it. No police, anybody coming to save you. You got to just eat that. If you don't want that kind of behavior here, maybe you shouldn't be ushering in the illegal aliens. That's my whole point. So to wrap it on up with the bow on top, that point, you need to do things that are proactive rather than just reactive. Okay, you have a bunch of dogs in kennels. They're in the cages. They're locked up. They're violent. They're going to attack humans potentially. And for some inexplicable reason, you open up all the cages and the dog attacks you. Hey, get your gun, shoot the dog. Well, now it's too late. The dog already done bit you. It's too late now. The dog already done bit you. You done got mauled by the dog. We told you not to open the gates. We said don't bring the dogs in here. You brought the dogs in here. You opened the gates. You got mauled. Now you're looking at me to blame when really it's your fault. Thank you to Black Suburban Dad Reviews, who says, I experienced racism growing up in Maryland, but I laugh at it now. My family never taught me racism in my home. By the way, my mom worked for a whole white woman that brought my parents a whole house. Well, there you go. Right on. Right on. And I had some racism a little bit in Virginia, a little teeny bit, but nothing that was really that major. Nothing that really stopped me from doing anything. And for real, for the most part, I didn't experience anything, because for the majority of my early life, I lived in 100% black areas. So where's the white man even at? The most I'm going to do is see a white person at school maybe. But beyond that, just at home in my hood, I didn't start living around whites until I got to be 14, until I got to be in high school. I never lived around whites until then. Even in West Virginia, because Rand is a black town. Roanoke, Virginia is a black place. At least in my part in Northwest over there, it was black. So I was already in high school before I started living around whites. So I never even really had to interact with them that much to experience racism. Shout out to Ron Henderson, who says, only one Spartan in our military ready to fight, not Transformers. Right on. Thank you to Carrie Ray for gifting the membership. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Ankh for gifting 2 ABL memberships. Thank you to Who Done It and Why, who says, judges blocking Trump, will it hold? I don't know. It's going to be a battle, of course. It's going to be a battle. Always. There's always a battle with Trump. There's always going to be some kind of political stuff going on. And thank you to Lothair, who says, give me a shout out for my girl Sarah and my son Jensen. They are my world. All right. Shout out to Jensen. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to you, boss. I appreciate you for joining. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email for Skype. It'll be right there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. All right. And let's go ahead and get straight to it. MO68, hold on. MO68 says, my neighbor of color gave me his 69 El Camino. His 8 kids never would visit him. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Shout out to you, man. Hey, you know, a lot of this color stuff is just used to divide us, man. We, you know, people are just people at the end of the day. You're able to get along with people, have a conversation with them, spend time with them. You could be best of friends. You could be like brothers, sisters, parents, etc. Like I told y'all, I would go to my white friend's house every Sunday morning, and his mom would be in there cooking. Like, it was like endless waffles. I just walk in the house, ain't knock on no door. I go in the house, pet their dogs, say what's up to my friends in there, and go straight to the kitchen. And we call her mom. She be in there with the waffles, maple syrup. Every Sunday, never asked for no money or nothing. She was just like that. White lady, the nicest lady in the world ever. White lady. So that racism stuff, man, it's just overblown. People just are soft and they want an excuse to not be able to succeed. If my great-grandfather in West Virginia in the 50s and 60s was able to thrive, own land and build houses, and you got a tummy ache because of a microaggression, you just soft. You soft and you're not prepared to do anything in this world other than cry and moan about what you don't have, rather than making the way for yourself and not taking no for an answer in this world. Especially in America, the Africans come over here, the Indians come over here, and they stomping us in the wine. Africans, Indians, Europeans, everybody come over here, and they like, what are you doing? You sitting on your hind parts doing nothing while I'm over here working and getting money. What are you doing? That's what they say. And what's the answer? All right, I'm done preaching for a minute. Let's get back to the calls. Let me get my sound together. Okay, that ain't gonna do it. There we go. All righty, let's go. 301, you're on the line. I was too slow for that one. Too busy preaching. Let's go. See, I done miss all the calls. Okay, hold on. Let me get it. There we go. 301, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Tom. I called you a couple times before. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, appreciate the show. I just called as a fellow white supremacist. I got black skin though. But yeah, I think I have a slight qualm with the idea of everything that's racist and all that. This word has been popularized in the popular culture. It's almost like a fad. I mean, I think there's some other words we could use, like prejudice, like bias, those kind of things. I feel like, and half the time, if somebody look at you funny or somebody like say, okay, the shop is closed right now and it looked like it's 5:50, it's not even 6 p.m. yet. You know what I mean? Like, you run into those situations and some people, put it together with what they've seen on the TV. And we already been proven at this point, that the USAID has been propagandizing us through the news stations for I don't know how long. The CIA been using this Marxist stuff. So, I mean, I just feel like, some of us been duped. And I think at least 75% of this racism is probably a microaggression or maybe even just a mistaken event. And then, especially in the last, I don't know, I'm not old enough to say, but I have a feeling like a lot of this racism is honestly prejudice. And I think that some of it's mistaken. So that's all I really wanted to call about.
Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Yeah, man. I mean, some things, it could be prejudice. It could be whatever. People could just judge you based upon how you look. But it's like, I don't even really care because nothing has stopped me. And I'm thriving and I'm going to keep on thriving. Anything that's like, I got to try to be worried about or try to cry about, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because it's not going to determine whether I'm able to succeed or not. This is not 1865. It's not slavery still going on. It's 2025, man. We got to be able to move forward. Listen, the great leap forward in China happened in the 60s, where they had 30 million people that died. The Great Famine, Mao Zedong, that was like MLK time. So it's like, that was kind of recently in history, but yet what happened? They were able to move forward and prosper and keep building their nation. Now, we're worried about things that happen in the 1800s, still at 2025. Those days are gone and not coming back. Whatever happened back then, you got to be able to move forward. You got to get over it, because if you don't, you're never going to be, your whole life will pass you by and you would never have achieved anything because you're so worried about the past. Let's keep on rocking. Let's go to 208. You're on the line. Okay. Let's go. 215. There we go. You're on the line. We're speaking to.
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, how's everything going tonight?
It's all good, boss. What's happening?
Hey, so basically, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to tell you this, ABL. So basically, I was at a restaurant, and basically, I was with this woman, and she's like, I guess she's kind of liberal, like she's a family member, right?
Uh-huh.
And we were just me, her, and two other people were out at dinner. And what happened was, well, she had like we had like a little kid with us. And what happened was there was these guys, and they was like in a restaurant. And mind you, they weren't being loud, but they were just cursing, and it was just like, they were just cursing. Matter of fact, I'm just get to it. I ain't gonna put you on, but they were just like, they were cursing, but they weren't being loud. And she just basically went over to them and said, "Excuse me, can you please not curse around my child?" And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I remember you had made a video basically saying like the world doesn't like evolve around you. Like basically, you remember that one video you had put up where the woman had the baby and the guy was sitting next to the airplane. He was next to the window. She's like, "Excuse me, can my son sit at their window because he likes to look out the window?" And the guy was like, "You know, your son got to grow up and realize he can't get everything he wants in life."
Oh yeah, I've seen that
You know
video.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah, and it was basically that, and I kind of thought about that situation. She was trying to tell the guys to not curse, even though they were kind of like not right behind us, but they were like at least a few feet away, and not curse because there's children around, but they weren't being loud. And the guys told her, "Well, they're not our children, and we're all adults in here." And basically, the whole argument pretty much started because they didn't want to stop cursing, even though they weren't like cursing left and right. They just said a few curse words, and they weren't being loud. And I was just like, and that's what made me think of, that's when I thought about your advice. I was like, maybe there's one of them situations you just kind of mind your own business and just, I told her, and I tried to tell her in the car, you should just kind of like, just mind our own business. Let's not just teach our children not to curse and say those words.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes it's not really worth trying to do that. Sometimes it just depends on the situation. So basically, like people saying their law. So basically, what you were on a plane, you were at a restaurant.
We were at a restaurant.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just say it. So you're at a restaurant, and then there was a table with some rowdy kids.
No, they weren't rowdy kids. They were just some adults, and they had said a few curse words and all that stuff, but they weren't being loud. Like the whole restaurant heard them.
Okay, and then what was the response from the person you were with?
Yeah, she decided to go over and tell them to not curse because there's children around.
And what was their response back?
Their response was, "We're adults. We don't have to watch our mouths, and they're not our children. You don't." And then she basically got upset because she was like, she told him, I'm asking you nicely, can you not curse while my child is around? She said, "Okay, well, you teach your child not to say those words. You don't tell us to be not to say."
Yeah. I mean,
to say bad words.
It's one of them things that happens, man. Like sometimes you can't really control that unless you're ready to fight somebody or call the manager or something like this. So sometimes you just got to kind of deal with it. It's unfortunate, but it's just one of them things, man.
Yeah. And I thought, when we were in the car riding back, I said, because the whole argument ended up starting, the manager had to get involved because a few people were arguing because she got to an argument with the two guys. But and when we were in the car, I didn't say anything, but she was like, at the end of the day, I was like, sometimes you got to just, some situations just aren't worth it, Now, you can't control what other people do.
Exactly. Now, here's what I would have done before she even got up. I'd be like, "Nah, don't even worry about it," because what's going to happen is they're going to try to buck on you. They're going to try to fight. Now, you're going to have to be fighting in here, and you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Because I know if I go over there and say something like that, I'm prepared to have to fight if I have to. So if you don't want to do that, then don't even worry about it. That's what I would have expressed to her.
Yeah, because
it's not really worth it.
Because telling another grown up to watch their mouth in the public space tends to
they're going to get offended.
Not be the thing to do.
Exactly. They're going to get offended, and the fight might happen as a result.
Yeah, because it's like you're talking to an adult like he's a child, and it's just you just don't do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And some adults tend to get a little hostile with that.
Right, of course.
Yeah, but and basically, yeah, but that's basically about it. And honestly, that's really all I had because Trump is still catching all these illegal immigrants. And they're just getting caught left and right. They said this whole weekend they caught like 700 of them.
Yeah, it's been quite a few.
Yeah, and it's mostly been a lot of gang members too. I've been seeing that all over the news. They just been getting deported left and right.
Because that was the focus from the beginning. That was they said they're going to go for the criminals, so that was focus from the beginning was the gangs. So that's what I want to see. Round them gangs up, get them out of here.
Yeah. All right, then. Thanks for taking my call, ABL.
No problem, man. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
All right, you have a good one.
Same to you. All right, shout out to my man for the call. But yeah, also you gotta check where you at though. Like, where were you at? Because some spots you already know is going to be some issues. You go at a certain time of the night, you already know it's going to it's like going down to Virginia Beach. You know, if you go down to the beach in the daytime, it's going to be pretty chill. Families, little kids out there with the little floaties. Look at me making sand castles, all that kind of stuff. But if you go down there at night, it's a little different. People been drinking. You got the YNs out there acting the fool. You have to understand when you go down there at a certain time what it's going to be or what it could be. Understand your surroundings before you actually go there. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 310. You don't lie who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Ron, ABL. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good. Man, I tell you, you can't control people in these restaurants. I tell you, if you got kids, hey, get to the back. Find your spot away from the potty mouths. And that's a good solution right there because, like you say, if you're not willing to fight, don't get up in it because these people are crazy today.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah, man, I wouldn't do it. I and teach my kids better. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you, these people, they got filthy mouths. The women are worse than the men these days. Really, that's for real. But man, I tell you, JD Vance talking to the Europeans, trying to just sharing his views on freedom out there. And they look at him like he's crazy and everything like that. Hey man, he just telling us just like it is. We supposed to stand for freedom. We're supposed to be a democracy people and everything like that. You're doing just like what they were doing out here, trying to keep this in a one world order. I'm sorry, we are. You need to be representing your citizens. Your citizens don't want all these here illegals coming over here and getting all this free stuff that they got to pay for, and stabbings and knives and axe going around, and you can't pray here, you can't do that, you can't even think about praying. This is what they're doing over in Europe, and that's crazy. That's crazy that you're doing out there, doing like that out there. But the same thing, that what they were doing out here is the thought police. What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So, man, we're trying to spread this good cheer of freedom throughout the world and not take in this oppression throughout what they were trying to push on us before. But man, JD Vance, he spoke very well, very well. That's our vice president. He spoke better than the last president. Come on now, he could be our next president, praise God. But yeah, we're on the move. With America still on the move, still rounding the criminals up. And the thing about it is that we need to be rounding up these criminals that's running in the halls of Congress. That's why they're squawking. Because we're going ahead and getting into their piggy bank. All the money that they found. They're talking about that the Social Security to be insolvent is supposed to be in a lockbox. I'm sorry, we found out where the lockbox went. Went over to the AID and everything like that. The DI, these other things that they spend their money on, throwing our money away. Like I said, I can't believe it. They talking about that when before Joe left, they talking about, yeah, we throwing these gold bars off the Titanic. What? Throwing the gold bars off the Titanic to all these here crazy things. And all these people just getting all this here free money. That's not free money. That's our money. That's our taxes. That's our money going down the drain, and it's to nothing. There's nothing benefiting the people, and they're taking the high road, saying that we can't look into this. Are you kidding? That's what we need to be doing. They, like I said, the IRS, the industrial complex, the war machine. We need to look in all of that. Everywhere where the money is spent, we need to find out why it costs $3,000 for a toilet seat. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to be looking at. Everything. Who's getting this money? Who's taking this? Where the money's going out the back door? This is what we need to be doing. And for them to say that you can't look there, and the judge is going to say, no, I don't want to be looking there either. You must be getting paid too. That's crazy. That is crazy. But you know what? We're going to get this here thing taken care of. America, we're not stupid. America is not stupid. They think we are. There's a few that is, but majority is not. Those who are common sense, we know better. We know better. And the thing about it that might be a little bit more suffering for us, that we have to go through because of the things that our president is trying to do about reciprocating tariffs and everything like that, Hey, play fire with fire, we want to have a level playing ground. Why can't we have a level playing ground? You know what I'm saying? All fair. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it that we can endure. We endured Biden for 4 years. Believe me, we can endure 12 months of Trump trying to get things under control, and hopefully 4 years that they continue to put the metal down to the floor. We got a year. What is that? A year and a half of Musk looking under the hood. Man, I hope they find every grunion that's running around crazy, that's running around in our treasury. We need to find every penny to find out what they're doing with this money. And that's why the Democrats is going nuts, because that's how they're able to fund all this stuff. We wonder why these signs keep popping up so quickly and all these graphics and everything. It wasn't you. You didn't print them. You know what I'm saying? They spend their money on that, on our money, printing that stuff up real quick to go ahead and come down with our demise of our country. No, the heck was that. We're going to go ahead and cut this mess out. Cut this mess out. I'm telling you. But anyway, I love you, brother. I'm going to go ahead and rant and everything like that. Take myself a Tylenol. I'm not feeling all that great today, but praise God. But I love everybody. Love everybody in the chat, Sheree and the whole ABL squad. Man, we are awesome. Keep praying for America. Keep praying for our president and vice president. We just got to keep America up, man. Lift it up, and the blessings come down. We can do it. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, ABL. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Great call as always. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Let's go to 770. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi there. Is this ABL?
Yes, it is. Turn someone from the background for me, please.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much.
No problem. All righty. What's going on?
Hi there. I'm calling you here. I'm one of your nearby neighbors, Ackworth, Georgia.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I love your show. Every Saturday, I'm ready to tune in and listen to you. Anyway, I wanted to answer a couple of questions. And I'm originally from San Jose, California, the Bay Area. I've lived here in Georgia for a few years now. And I recently had to go back home to the West Coast. I usually go back about 3 times a year. And And while I was back there, I attended a funeral. Unfortunately, a close cousin of mine passed away suddenly. So Reno, Nevada is only approximately about an hour and a half from where I was. So my son lives in Reno, Nevada. So when I was in the Bay Area, I frequented a lot of places that I normally go to when I visit. I have a lot of family and friends there. And I noticed that there was not a lot of Latinos, believe it or not, at a lot of these places that I frequent. And I'd go around asking some of the vendors, they're real nice people. Have you noticed, like, since immigration's coming around ICE, that there's been lesser Latinos? And they definitely said yes. They're either hiding or they left. Okay. So then I went over to Reno, Nevada, and there's this one casino that I really enjoyed going to. I do real well there. So I went there one night, and I was talking to some of the people I know there. And I said, hey, you know, the last time I came, there was so many Latinos in this casino, and they even asked me why I spoke English.
Oh, wow.
While I was playing the machines, they asked me, don't you know Spanish? And I said, kind of, sort of, but I was born and raised in America. And they said, well, you should know Spanish. So I said, well, are you here legal? And they said, no. They would tell me that. And then I'd say, oh, okay. I said, then you should learn English. You're in America. So they'd shut up. Okay, but I'm going to answer you something that I noticed. And a lot of people there notice the same thing. They're either hiding or they've left because there's not that many Latinos around, as many as you've seen. So just to answer your question, a lot of them are leaving or, you know, hiding low. And even a lot of the vendors in Reno, Nevada told me the same thing. A lot of the merchants, they said, yeah, a lot of our clientele have left. They're not coming out to buy or shop or coming to the casinos. So they're laying low for now because they already were warned, so they know it's coming around. So that's what I wanted just to emphasize and let you know. And I did even notice it here in Ackworth, and like when I go to Sam's Club or Costco, I mean, just all over this general area, you don't see too many anymore. And I noticed, too, that a lot of the contractors around this area, they're doing fencing, landscaping, roofing. They'd hire the illegals because they're good, hard workers, and they pay them lesser wages. And a lot of them, too, they're not even coming around anymore. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Very interesting. So we're seeing some a decrease in the traffic, the illegal alien traffic. Well, hey, it's funny how just one election can make such a big difference, ain't it? Shout out to the Orange Man. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go 559. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
Everything's going good, man. How about yourself?
Good, man. Hey, you know what? I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, call up ICE. Tom Homan, where are you at? Send them all up in there, into that crowd in L.A. I think what needs to happen, I agree with Kristi Noem, as far as deputizing all of these federal agencies, security forces, and law enforcement, that they need to start flooding these cities that are having operations in them, whether or not there's leaks. I think that if they deputize enough people from, even if they grab law enforcement from military police, from Bureau of Prisons, from tribal police, the tribe that's willing to do it, you know, I mean, even like the IRS, like people were saying, deputizing them to go arrest illegal aliens and like, I don't know, Fort Knox, whatever. I mean, Trump did it during Floyd when there was all those like insane riots and they were burning everybody's cities down. So then he started grabbing law enforcement from like everywhere. I mean, you know, you're a cop. We're going to, you know, open up that access for you to be part of the unstoppable force, the overwhelming force that he called it, to quell those riots. So, I mean, I think the same strategy should just be used for the illegals. What do you say?
I mean, it sounds good to me. I mean, it sounds pretty efficient. Get straight to the point. I say, why not?
Yeah, Yeah, I agree. And I also wanted to comment, ABL, real quick, if I may. You mentioned Frederick Douglass, and it's interesting because his son, Sergeant Major Lewis Douglass, was one of the Union soldiers that fought in the Civil War, who was portrayed by Morgan Freeman in the 1989 film Glory. You know, he's the guy that what's the other actor? He slaps in the face, Denzel slaps Denzel Washington. Yeah, and he's like, you know, the white people are dying for you, fool, by the thousands. You know, it's amazing to see, you know, the parallels from, you know, those days of those black men, those black American men that fought and died for this country, because they essentially believe the ideals in which that we are, you know, fighting for, in a sense, right now, just, you know, our constitutional Republican rights. And I just found that interesting and wanted to mention that to you as well, ABL. I'm not sure if that, you know, coincides with what you were talking about or not, but anyway, well, I guess that's enough time for me to go on my soapbox, but I appreciate it so much. Thanks so much, ABL, for everything. Take care, sir. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you. Yeah, great call. Fantastic call. I mean, you know, men at a certain point were men. We still got some strong men out there in this world today, but especially black men, we were a lot stronger in previous years. You know, I have an uncle named Robert Lee. For real. Like, for real. Like, people don't understand their own history. A lot of black people don't know their grandma. They went to the West Coast or somewhere else and left their family behind. They're like children. They're like children because they don't have any history of their family or any knowledge of their history in this country. We didn't leave. We're still right where we came from the beginning. We got family we can trace all the way back to the boat. I have pictures of my family in the 1800s. We got family trees. We could point to who people are going back generation to generation to generation. We can point our family all the way back to when Booker T. Washington was in West Virginia. He went to church with my family members at the same time. One of the founding members of the church in Malden, African Zion Baptist Church, you could look it up. That's where Booker T. Washington went, and my family also went there at the same time in the 1800s. So we go all the way back there. A lot of black men, they might go back to the 60s, maybe 70s, and that's it. They don't know anything beyond that. Does it make sense? So that's why they kind of out here just doing whatever, because they have no idea who they are for real. All right, let's keep on rocking here. Scott caller, who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi, Anthony. It's Danny. How you doing, mate?
Doing well, man. About yourself?
Yeah, everything's good, man. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Yeah, man. So, I think I might have been racially abused earlier. Do you want to hear about it?
Okay, let me know.
Well, I was walking my dog earlier in the park, and I always noticed that that there's like a, I think they're like black Hebrew Israelites or something like that. There's always about 15 or 20 of them, and they're always doing filming and stuff. And I thought, you know what, today's going to be the day when I go up to them and talk to them. So I went up to them. I said, can I join, you know, your guys' crew? And they all looked at each other and then looked at me, and they was like, nah. And I was like, well, why not? And they just kind of was just looking at each other, and they were like, no, we're kind of not, you know, looking for any new members. And so I was like, all right, then fair enough. I guess I'll just stick to my Christianity then. Anyway, I just find the whole ordeal really traumatic. I went home, I had to take medication. I got a headache, backache. I mean, my knees started hurting. I mean, it was really, really bad, man.
That's hilarious. So all of that, huh? You got a stomach hurt, your knees hurt, and everything. You just all to pieces because they did that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I ain't going to work for about a week. I'm going to call in sick. I can't do it anymore.
Hilarious.
But yeah, no, they're cool guys. You mean, you know, they're peaceful. They're not trying to harm anyone like certain other groups of people. But yeah, quick random question before I go. Have you ever heard of a halal Caribbean restaurant or halal KFC or halal Chinese restaurant?
I have not heard about those things at the same time together. No, I haven't.
Yeah, so anyway, there's a KFC around the corner from me and it's halal. What do you think of that?
That's weird. Like, how does that really happen? Like, okay, you got a Muslim majority and they make that be the case?
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happened. So around the corner from me, there's an area where there's a lot of Algerians and Moroccans and just like Muslim sort of people. And there's just halal restaurants everywhere. I mean, they've got their restaurants, but they're taken over the KFC joint now. So that's done. My local Caribbean restaurant that I go to now and then, they're halal now. I called him up a couple of days ago. I'm like, so why are you halal now? And he's like, oh, I can't answer that. I just work here. And I'm like, you're a sellout, man. I mean, you're Caribbean. You're Christian. Well, you're Christians. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be Christian, but this is Britain, man. You should be serving British food. I've been a good customer for you for years, and now you're halal. And now, because I'm a Christian, I can't shop at your restaurant anymore. And this is what I mean. All these restaurants now, they're all just selling out because there's more Muslims in the area and they might get more customers. They're just selling out, and it just makes me sick. And it's always the white liberals as well, just the liberals who go in these places and they eat halal food because they think it's so cool. We've got to be inclusive to everyone. Well, you look at all these Islamist countries around the world. They ain't inclusive to Christians and Jews. All they want to do is persecute them. But yeah, I've got to put up with it here in my country, in my area. I mean, it's absolutely insane, ABL.
Yeah, it's crazy. Totally crazy.
And then you look at all the stuff that's happening over Europe now. There's literally every time now I put on YouTube, I just hear of another attack that's happening in Europe. But apparently there's another one today in Austria where an Afghan migrant stabbed a 14-year-old boy. And it's just every day now. It's attacking Germany, attacking Austria, attacking Sweden, France. I mean, it's probably going to happen in the UK again soon. And it's always these illegal immigrants that come from Afghanistan, Syria. Like, it's always these countries that these attacks are happening. But you know what I mean? You can't say anything about it, though, because you get called Islamophobe and all this nonsense.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. I think at a certain point, that term shouldn't be deterring people from being able to protect their country. They shouldn't be worried about, they're going to call me a name, so I can't protect myself. That's really crazy.
Yeah, I don't give a rat's ass anymore. If I see someone on the street who wants to talk this nonsense, I'm just going to give it to you. It's that simple. At the end of the day, I'm a Christian. This is my country. I was born and bred here. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to come over here, start talking that satanic pagan cult nonsense, then I'm just going to give it to you on the street. That's just the way it's going to be from now on. But yeah, ABL, look, I don't want to take up too much time, mate. Great show, great callers tonight. Hope you have a blessed day, mate. Take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, see you, mate. See ya. Bye.
All right, great call. I feel him 100%. All right, let's go to 707 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Margie from Northern California. Good evening. Great show again. Everybody hit the like button for this man, please. I want to talk about tonight about Elon Musk and, him having tons of kids, lots of people, and with different women. And I'm not into it like he's immoral or whatever, but it seems like he's commoditizing children, with different women, because he can. I think it all comes down to where all our elite ruling parties come down is they want to be the king on the hill. They want to be having bragging rights among other men. Like, look at Jeff Bezos. He's that Mayorkas evil twin, separated at birth looking dude. He's got that woman, Miss Sanchez, right? That dude would never get any play any other way. And so he brings her to a funeral, state funeral, looking like a harlot. And to him, that is the swagger that these guys are doing. And Trump's a swaggerer. All he surrounds himself with is that. And I think Elon Musk is a kind of an evil genius. I don't trust the man because he's okay with having those cars, autonomous gulag cars, run over people. He's okay with breaking the eggs, and we're the eggs. I'm not okay with that. And just because he takes out your enemy or people you like to see get smacked upside the head, just because he's doing that doesn't mean he's good. He's just capable. And even like Mark Zuckerberg, you know, he's even getting to be like, I'm an athlete dude, growing the hair, you know, trying to get his own vibe going because it's the chest bumpery, spoils winner. You know, how much gold can you put on your Wagyu steak, right? You got to be able to own it. And I'm not liking what's going on so much with Trump so far. And with Elon and these different things. Oh, we're going to be selling off these buildings. What are you going to evaluate them at? 18 million like they did Mar-a-Lago? Who is getting it? Why can't we hold on to it? What's going on? Why the rush? Why the rush? These temporary 4 or 8 year people. Why the rush? You know, you're temporary and you're making permanent changes of everything in society. Come on now, slow it down. Slow it down, Junior. I didn't vote for that. So,
well, wouldn't that be how that? Well, wouldn't that be how that works though? Because if you're the president, you want to make a mark that can last. So you don't want the other people to come in and change things, or like it's just like when Trump put the tariffs on, you know, and then the Biden administration could have taken the tariffs off, but they didn't. So you got to do things. You got to make an impact while you have the chance to make the impact.
That's true. You know what? It's kind of like that ring. You know, Smeagol. You got to be able to. In the Lord of the Rings, you got to be able to resist that. You got to have some strength from above, or, you know, internal, all the external stuff, and a good deal of luck to get that one. What I think is so many deputies are happening now. You can't possibly vet those just as much as we couldn't have vet these people coming over the border. So let's just basically keep an eye on them all. That's all.
Right, of course.
True. All right, my dear, you take care, and I thank you again for your service. Always enjoyable. Your point of view is always enlightening. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 805 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 805, hello.
Hello?
Yes?
How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh, man, I'm just checking in with you. I got a minute and a half to give to you. But, yeah, first of all, I appreciate your content so much. And I hope you can hook up. Uncle ABL can hook up with Coach Greg Adams. I know this is not on the real, you know, line, but, you know how it is. But second of all, I live right now in the northern part of California. I just want you to know that from Sacramento down to Bakersfield, people can look it up, but yeah, we got patriots over here. Lastly, I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if I'm the last call or not, but I asked people in the comments between the last two streams. I just wanted to give a shout out to the retired Chicago police officer, because I've been listening to your show for about 3-4 years now. And unfortunately, I found out from the last stream that he's no longer with us in human flesh, but I give him respect. He was always our closer for the show. And yeah, I miss him. And I know he's looking down on us gratefully. And I love your show. Keep pushing and let's keep moving, brother. I love you, man. Take care, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Already.
All righty, so shout out to my man, and that'd be a good place to end the show tonight. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. And of course, RIP to our retired Chicago police officer friend. Yeah, he was definitely a great part of our show, a great part of the community. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed talking to him for the time I got to talk to him. So I'm glad I was able to be there toward the end of his life and just, you know, add something to it, add a dimension to it. So shout out to him. RIP. And shout out to you guys again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me. Blame the white man, because you know, It ain't my fault, but I'll be back live on Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 100%. Yes, he did have great knowledge. Sayers, I know I tore it up, and I'm sorry, but yes, he did have great knowledge. But that'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to Mods for keeping the trolls in check as always. I really, really appreciate it. This is an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now as well. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Those links will always be in the description, or that link to that podcast will be in the description. Or you could just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. We're also on the Rumbles. Somebody asked me on Instagram, actually. They were like, hey, man, are you on Rumble? I don't want to be on YouTube. I'm like, hey, no problem. Go to Rumble, search Anthony Brown Logan, ABL. Well, search my full name, and it'll be not monetized. Well, it's monetized, but it'll be verified. That's what I'm looking for. It'll be verified with the little green hockey puck thingamabobber right there. You see it. Okay. Anthony Brown Logan. We're at 1,000 followers and some change. So you can see the videos right here. Everything is right there for you. So go to Rumble, find me if you want to find me there. You can also find me on different social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, not going to call it X, TikTok. All those links will be on the website. All the links for everything will be in the description. So check me out right there. I'm also here throughout the week putting up pre-recorded content. Uncle ABL is coming back. Well, Uncle ABL is back, but it's like not consistent yet. I'm going to be consistent very soon, but I do have some new content on there, and I got more new content coming for sure. And what I want to do is just, my goal for Uncle ABL is really to be able to allow men to understand who they really are and to be the best version of themselves. That's what the goal of it is going to be. And just from my experience living, I want to give it to y'all. A lot of things that I didn't know that I know now. It's a classic thing. If I knew then what I know now, oh my. Like me at 18, 19 with a 40-year-old ABL information would be unstoppable. I'd be Elon, basically. All right, so where we at? Thank you to Lena J for the emoji with the enthralled person emoji. That's probably the best way to put it. Thank you for that, Lena J. I appreciate you. And thank you to Whalers860 who says, I hear Nathan Wade and Kamala Harris are starting an adult page together. I wonder how Fonny feels about that. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. That's funny, though. Thank you to Nick Corio who says, USA just beat Canada in hockey after 3 fights and booing our anthem. Well, that's what they get. That's what they get. Hey, USA, I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. Shout out to America, USA. And shout out to the Canadians, but y'all can't be booing. Listen, if you gon' boo the national anthem, at least win the game. Don't get stomped out. Don't get stomped into wine. And then the whole thing was you were talking mess. Talk crazy and win the game. Don't talk crazy and then lose. That's not how we do at all. All righty. But that's pretty much all I got. Shout out to y'all. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, but I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.